Here in the sold-out Slater Family Ice Arena for Game 2 of Bowling Green Hockey and Notre Dame Hockey's weekend series. Last night, Game 1, a shootout victory for the Falcons, who never led the Irish, but skated away with a winning feeling last night off the back of Cole Moore and his outstanding performance. Notre Dame looking for revenge today, looking for just their 6th win of the season and their 2nd on the road. The Falcons looking to add another Big Ten win to their record this season. Hello, Falcon fans, back here in the slate. Myself, Ben Korak, along with Dan Ridenauer. Dan, an impressive game from the Falcons yesterday to be able to play even in a game that it felt like they did not really have the upper hand on Notre Dame at any point.
You know, that's right, Ben. And I mean, look at what yesterday brought to the table. That was really the testament. Can you go on the road and can you face yourself against a legitimate Big Ten opponent? Seeing Notre Dame the way that one went, and while not every time it was in your favor, you still were able to bounce back. And a word that I would use for yesterday's game would be resilience. No matter what happened against the Orange and Brown, they still found a way to get to the back of the net. You talk about Higgins, who's able to get one, then the goal right back after. You continue on, and you keep fighting. It's what led Bowling Green to overtime, and it's what led them to the shootout.
Of course, if you want to read the recap of yesterday's game from South Bend in Indiana, go to bgfalconmedia.com, BG_FMSN on Twitter X, or BG Falcon Media on Instagram or Facebook as well. Follow all of those platforms. And if you want to watch the highlights, all of the goals from yesterday's game, Nick Windholtz put a highlight package together as he was in South Bend filming the game, and that also posted on all of those social media platforms. You mentioned adversity, Dan, and the biggest thing to look out for today, and maybe through the rest of the season as well, is the name of Gustav Stjernberg. And a pairing today with Ivan Karodiak. Yesterday took his 3rd game misconduct of the season, and according to NCAA rules that I could find, and a lot of people could find that they posted all around social media, it was expected he was not going to skate today due to a suspension for his 3rd game misconduct of the season. He's in the lineup today, and if he's able to play, that's big for the Falcons, but also you might take a bench minor if he's illegally in the lineup today, and that's something definitely that the Falcons can't afford to take against Notre Dame.
There's a risk to take with putting Stjernberg in tonight, definitely, but there's also a high reward. I mean, you look at a guy like Stjernberg, who's a +8 so far in the season, and you know that he's able to set the tone. You know that he's just that physical factor that he brings out there to the ice, and I just imagine he's going to be the kind of guy to light the spark, especially in front of this crowd. Bowling Green's going to get the momentum. It's going to be from him. You also look at the +8. Let's look at the other side on that. He's got 75 penalty minutes throughout the season and 30 in the past 2 weekend series, which is definitely adding to his repertoire. So there's a high risk, but there's also a high reward for playing him tonight.
Simply him being on the ice makes sure that a lot of Notre Dame players may be a bit wary to get near the boards with him crashing in. But again, Stjernberg probably going to be on a bit of a leash today, as head coach Dennis Williams not too happy in the press conference yesterday with Stjernberg taking that penalty. Didn't mention him by name, but assuming that penalty was what Willie referenced when he mentioned selfish penalties. Also the big theme from yesterday, Cole Moore. We're not expecting him to start today, most likely going to be Jacob Steinman, but he played unbelievable yesterday, finished the day with above .900 save percentage, stood tall through the shootout. He has saved everything pretty much has been thrown at him come 2026, and he's been a big key to the Falcons' success in the new year.
Exactly. You know, a guy like Moore is who you need to count on for those big opportunities, those big moments. I mean, Moore was really the backbone yesterday of the Orange and Brown victory. I mean, you see the little shimmy he did at the end just right in the shootout, and definitely, though, too, you got to count on a guy like Moore. I mean, but what's so great about BG is they have that goaltending. It's not just a one-man show like it is with Moore. So even when you're going to put Steinman and even Palmer at sometimes, Coach Williams knows that there's a guy in the back of the net that's going to be able to help you out no matter the circumstances.
Cole Moore, 30 saves, 3 goals allowed yesterday against Notre Dame at Notre Dame. Steinman, expected to start today, has 3 straight wins and 3 straight 1-goal allowed performances. He's been impressive and looking to keep that trend going today. On the other side of the ice, Notre Dame's Nicholas Kempf played just as well, maybe slightly worse than Cole Moore, but certainly enough to hold the Falcons to 3. He was not helped too much out by his defense, but he made some impressive saves. 28 saves, 3 goals allowed yesterday for Kempf was enough to keep it a tie game and force overtime and keep Notre Dame out of that loss column.
I mean, every win that Notre Dame's gotten this season has become just because of Nicholas Kempf. He's the main guy that's leading the stand of it, and I mean, you look at what he brings to the table and how he's going to be the driving force. Definitely gets the most playing time out of anybody in the Notre Dame goaltending, and you look at what he also does just in terms of his save percentage. He's battling right near a .9 right now at that. and you're looking at just so far, he's kind of in the middle. He just needs to get that jump tonight, and if Notre Dame's able to start that jump early, they know the goaltending's going to follow.
Notre Dame, a big team, as we mentioned a couple of times yesterday. Some very big players, including Sunner Mazzotti, who's 6'6", 241. Niko Jovanovic on the fourth line, 6'4", 223. They're big, but they don't necessarily skate as large as they are. Dan, you were board hopping yesterday's game. You were able to watch it as well. You saw how big they are, but they don't play like a very big team. How can Bowling Green play that advantage today?
What I'd say definitely is start the physicality, but you got to start it in the right way. There's just going out there, just guns a-blazing, not paying attention, but there's also a smart sense of physicality. There's that, team fluidness. There's that just moving the puck together, and that's where Bowling Green thrives, is when they get that happy medium of moving the puck, especially when they're on the power play. If you look at Bowling Green, when they're able to move the puck, they go back and forth, and they're able to catch the defenders out of position, just take it right there. But what Bowling Green needs to find is that medium, because if they do it too much, then it's going to result in a turnover. If you don't do it enough, it's just going to be a simple save for Kempf. So I'd say moving the puck, finding that happy medium is going to be the answer for the Orange and Brown today. 7
players above 6'3" in Notre Dame's lines today, but certainly not as fast as the Falcons are, which plays into the hands of what Dan Ridenauer just said a second ago. The Falcons had no problem really scoring yesterday, especially when it came to midway through the second period and beyond. The first goal that they scored 8 minutes, 27 seconds into the second period. Quinn Emerson, he finished with a 3-point game, assisted on the next 2 goals that were by Ty Higgins, his first of his career as a freshman, and Noah Morneau, who made his return from injury and got a goal in that first game. Those are 2 big goals for 2 big freshmen for this Falcon team that's still trying to put together 4 lines of forwards and 3 full pairings of defensemen.
Exactly, and those 2 just in particular was the momentum shift that Bowling Green needed. Starting out the weekend on the road was going to be a difficult task, but, as you kind of mentioned to me yesterday, you talk about that Ohio State series where they also had to begin their weekend on the road and then also were trailing going into the third period, likewise to the Buckeyes and then Notre Dame yesterday. So you get that kind of similarity. You're still able to bounce back, but it's really just one shot of the puck can change the world, and we saw that with both Higgins and Morneau.
Quinn Emerson, 28 points this season on 8 goals and 20 assists. He had his 8th goal yesterday and his 19th and 20th assists yesterday as well. He has 28 points. He's only 4 away from his career high after last season, which was 32 through his first 3 years. He has just exploded this year for Bowling Green. He's been a leader. He's a senior, playing on the first line today with Morneau and Brett Foe. But those 3 players, the entire lines today, Dan, biggest guys you want the Falcons to look for today, trying to put enough goals on the board to take their second Big Ten win of the season.
You got to look at the first line if we're going to just start out. That's the line that Coach Williams knows is going to set the tone, knows is going to get the Falcons off to the right foot, especially Quinn Emerson, like you said, just a man who resembles just hard work, tenacity, just the vision that he has for the Orange and Brown. The apple didn't fall far from the tree at all if you talk about Nelson Emerson, but either way, they're also going to have to go. You can't just have 3 people and expect them to go out there. You're going to have to move to the second line as well. And where I see the second line moving well especially is a guy like Ben Durant. You look at the second game he had against Bemidji State. That's where he really shines. He's Mr. Saturday Night, if you will. Ben Durant's going to be a guy to look out for, as well as that first line of the forwards.
Durant, Waters, and Ryman the second line, Foe, Morneau, and Emerson the first line. The inclusions in the lineup today for the Falcons, Jack Blake and Connor Levis, the extra skaters, as per the season pretty much. Jack Blake most likely going to be the extra skater, and Levis scratched before game time today, but we'll see when they skate out onto the ice. The 2 other inclusions, Brandon Wynot, who did not play yesterday, is in the game today for Max Martin, and then Adam Zlinka, also a forward that has not played since the second game against Ohio State, so he's going Big Ten to Big Ten, but he hasn't scored in quite a while, playing fourth line with Jake Sloan and Brandon Wynot. That's an experienced player the Falcons are bringing back, a sophomore, kind of in the likes of Max Martin, and that fourth line definitely a bit of a sneaky one here, Dan.
I believe so too. You talk about the fourth line, it's really just the underdogs, the guys that are going to go out there that know they have something to prove, that are really trying to fight for ice time. And, it's not as guaranteed as some other guys are, but, you talk about a guy like Williams, as he doesn't matter if you're the first line or the fourth line. He's going to treat you equally. He's going to just give you the same opportunities, but really it's going to come down to how bad you want it and how hard you're willing to work for it, as well as that. So he's going to value the hard work, and you're really going to see that, especially, you talk about Zlinka, hasn't played since the Ohio State series. Coming back into this one, this is his going to be time to shine. You know that he's going to want to come into this one. You know so far this season, he's looking for his second goal of the year.
Why not likely in the lineup today because of how heavy he plays, and we mentioned how big Notre Dame is, playing larger than he is. Brandon, why not likely going to be a big factor today, the physicality. Jacob Steinman, maybe the statistically best goaltender the Falcons have, although it's a trio of fantastic goaltenders. Bowling Green has Jacob Steinman, 2.29 goals allowed, 915 save percentage. He's 4-1 in his last 5 games played. His only loss was 21 saves and 1 goals allowed against Lake State. That was in this building the last time that he played in this building. Didn't get much goal support. The Falcons are looking to give him some today, but Steinman also a force to be reckoned with in net.
He sure is. And I mean, you talk about a freshman like Steinman and what he brings to the table, and then you look kind of where he's at currently. I mean, he's getting at 2.2 goals against average. You're looking so far, too. He's above 900 for a save percentage, too, as you mentioned, so definitely a force to be reckoned with as well. And it's really just, you have 3 great options in net, and Steinman and Moore are just really just that dynamic duo that you're going to have to count on if you're the Orange and Brown.
Bowling Green looking for their 15th win of the regular season and second against a Big Ten opponent. Of course, earlier in the season, Ohio State at a home-and-home in the same form that we have Notre Dame this weekend. The Falcons tied the first game with a shootout, and then in the second game won 5-3. Looking to do the same today and take a win over Notre Dame straight up. We'll go around the CCHA as well. The Falcons are the only team with a non-conference game today. And yesterday it was interesting, Dan. You guys unpacked it well in the post-game show and the intermission reports. Minnesota State walloping Ferris State. They drop puck again today in Big Rapids. That's pretty unsurprising. Minnesota State, one of the top 20 teams, and Ferris State more toward the bottom.
Exactly, and now Ferris State, after yesterday with Northern Michigan, is at the bottom of the CCHA, which is crazy to think about. Northern Michigan, a team with 3 wins all season. All of those are CCHA opponents, however, though, they were able to knock up to the 8th position after their upset against Bemidji State yesterday.
1 win against Bowling Green, 1 against Michigan Tech, and now 1 against Bemidji State with a shutout for their goaltender yesterday. Also yesterday, maybe the biggest game of this is the biggest series of the week for sure. The number 1 and the number 2 team. That's 4-2 win for St. Thomas over Michigan Tech. Michigan Tech also a top 20 team in the USCHO rankings. They drop puck again today, 8:07 Eastern time in St. Paul at the home of St. Thomas. This is a big game for Michigan Tech. They're trying to make a run at that top spot, and you got to knock off the big dog if you really want to be considered one of those top teams.
You really have to, and just after yesterday, you're looking more at a little bit of a big 3 situation, if you will, in St. Thomas, Michigan Tech, and then Bowling Green, where Bowling Green kind of at a bit of a disadvantage this weekend since they are in a non-conference series, but you still got to reckon with those 2 up top in St. Thomas and Michigan Tech and know that you are very well close to them, and you also know that they're going to be fighting for it just as much as you are. So really standing on top of it, taking advantage of it here, looking at the non-conference games and just taking those, doing everything you can to win those, and also take it over to the CCHA. When you have Michigan Tech and St. Thomas, you know those are going to be hard-fought battles, and you're going to have to win every chance you get.
Augustana with a 6-1 win over Lake State yesterday, as well as St. Thomas and Northern Michigan that also had victories. They had 6 goals in a row after Lake Superior State scored the first in the first period. They with a commanding win, and the Falcons will face off against Augustana in 2 weeks. They have St. Thomas next week. In 3 weeks they have Minnesota State, and the last week of the season they have Michigan Tech up in Houghton, Michigan. So that's the upcoming schedule for Bowling Green, the CCHA competition today, as we'll walk you through that as the day progresses. We'll talk about Pick the Stick real quick. Falcon Media Sports Network members choose a player before the game starts. 1 point for a goal, 2 points for an assist, and the goalie loses you points as he gives up goals, but starts with 3. Dan, first pick today. Who do you go with?
I'm going to have to go with Ben Duran. I mean, you look at where he's at. I mean, yes, he's the second line, but you shouldn't overlook him at that at all. I mean, Duran's going to be a force to be reckoned with tonight, a +7, just right by Goose with what he does in the plus and minus category. But also, too, what I really like about Duran is how he's able to get those assists. I mean, he's 16 on the team, very up near the top of the orange and brown. I think that's where he's going to shine today, is in the assist category, which is going to just be able to add up points as you go. But also, too, you look at how he plays on Saturdays, and that is definitely where he likes to shine.
Lucas Kleinmeyer calling Bowling Green women's basketball. That is the Battle of I-75, the first one up in Savage Arena. He will be on the call, Falcon Radio, streaming at bgfalconmedia.com. His selection is Noah Morneau, who played his first game back yesterday from injury, injured in the first Ferris State game a couple of weeks ago, scored a goal in his first game back, looking to do the same today. Tyler Kavelitz chose Jaden Grant. He loves scoring goals in this arena. He's got 8 on the season, tied for the team lead. Not too much of an assist man, but going for goals is Jaden Grant. And my selection today, Dominic Ryman. He's playing on the second line with Ben Duran and Brody Waters. That's a big scoring line for the Falcons. Waters and Duran, part of a 3-man line that was the highest scoring for the Falcons last season with O'Hara as the left winger. The freshman Dominic Ryman into that left wing. Think he's going to contribute a good bit today. The Falcons on the ice, Notre Dame to follow. We're here in the sold-out Slater Family Ice Arena, and puck drop coming. You're listening to Falcon Hockey here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Media Sports Network writes and publishes over 1,000 stories per year, including game previews, recaps, sidebars, opinion pieces, feature stories, and more. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com to view all of our content for every sport throughout the year.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
On February 11th, 2025, BGSU senior forward Marcus Johnson nailed an improbable corner three-pointer at the buzzer to give Bowling Green a lead over the Ohio Bobcats going into halftime. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz had the call on Falcon Radio.
Thomas looking for someone to inbound it to. Gets it to Johnson. Corner 3, fading away to baseline. Marcus Johnson nails it. Bowling Green goes into half with the 2-point advantage, 34-32 on the miracle shot by Johnson.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM. BGSU Hockey welcomes Notre Dame to a sold-out Slater Family Ice Arena to wrap up a home-and-home series for the first time since 2019 on Saturday, January 31st. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Dan Reinauer will have the call of the action at 5:45 for pregame and 6:07 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for Falcon Hockey.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU Hockey heads to South Bend, Indiana to battle Notre Dame in the first round of a home-and-home series on Friday, January 30th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Holden Ruck will have the call. The broadcast will start with a pregame show hosted by Dan Reinauer and Artie Abrego at 6:35 p.m. before puck drop at 7 p.m. Tune in on WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for Falcon Hockey.
you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon Gymnastics participates in the Western Michigan Quad Meet against Western Michigan, Wisconsin Eau Claire, and Greenville on Sunday, February 1st at 1 p.m. Make sure to check out the recap of the meet by Falcon Media Sports Network's Noah Seeley on bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletics, news, and updates.
Unlike other local sources, Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media will never charge a paywall to view our content. However, if you are looking to support student media, you can donate at the bottom of our stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcast on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
This week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week is BGSU Hockey's junior forward Ben Duran. During BG's weekend series against Bemidji State Beavers, Duran scored 3 goals and an assist to finish the weekend with 4 points and helped BGSU complete the weekend sweep of Bemidji and claim all 6 points towards the CCHA standings. Duran is now up to 6 goals and 16 assists, which is 3rd on the roster on the season and ranks 2nd on the team in points with 22. Ben is just a 200-feet player. He's an aggressive and passionate player, said head coach Dennis Williams. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics, only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Game 2 of the Falcons and the Fighting Irish, this time here in the Slater Family Ice Arena in Bowling Green, Ohio. Sold out for the second time this year, the only other time. Ohio State earlier on at the beginning of January. That without students. And Dan, we have students in the building today. Actually, a separate link that you had to go to claim your student ticket. You didn't just get it automatically as you do for normal games. And it's going to be packed. It's going to be a lot of standing room only as well.
Absolutely. It's an orange out tonight. You can feel the crowd. I mean, you're starting to get goosebumps just seeing it, just the way the crowd's just together, the way that they're starting the chants against Notre Dame. And really, you can already tell that Bowling Green knows this is the time to set the tone. You just can't give Notre Dame any opportunity. And as you know, Coach Williams said, having that 7th man to help you out, and that's definitely what the crowd is doing now.
It's a tough place to play when it's not 5,000 people, but it's 5,000 strong. The low ceiling, and the Falcons wearing their orange sweaters, brown shorts, brown buckets, orange gloves, and a clean look and a rare one that they use at home with the all-orange. Notre Dame and their whites with the gold buckets as they wore yesterday and are classic to their jersey repertoire. Face-off won back by Notre Dame. The tie yesterday, 3-3 through 65 minutes of play at regulation and overtime. The shootout only make was by Noah Morneau in the first round of the shootout for the Falcons. The first shot taken, and the goaltenders went 5 for 5 and Colmore went 3 for 3. Higgins to recover the puck back in his own zone. Jacob Steinman in net for Bowling Green. He's played 3 games in a row for 1 goal allowed and has taken a loss during that time in this building, so hasn't had much goal support, and that's what the Falcons are looking for today. Gustav Stjernberg, the stretch pass up to Waters, doesn't land, but Duran's going to get to the puck first back in the O-zone. Gives it up to Waters. Waters circles it out, pass to the slot, given up to Ryman. Ryman, quick shot and a miss wide left. Good chance there on the one-timer by the freshman. Give up from Brody Waters. Duran south of the goal line, got it on the left wing side, back up blue line. Fired in, dropped down in front of Kempf. Puck still on the doorstep, cleared away by Notre Dame, and the Falcons will be back first. It's Breck McKinley who touches the puck before Sutter Mazzotti can get there. The leading scorer for Notre Dame is Mazzotti, and a big body as well, 6'6", 240. McKinley takes it up the right wing, defended. Good shot, save made with the left glove by Kempf. It's kicked into the half wall. On the high slot, Hodson, now another one. Minville, it's kick saved again. Testing Kempf here early are the Falcons. They're back in the O-zone with the puck. Fired in, rebound chance, cleared up, doorstep, nobody there to clean it. Right dancing there in front of the blue paint, puck pinned up on the right wing side. The Falcons still in the O-zone. Crampton holds it in, fires. It's blocked by Dashel Oliver. The forward goes for a change now. The Falcons circling the puck, and they get the entry again. Crampton loses it as it's stripped away. Mastro Domenico, the captain, didn't play yesterday, is playing today back on defense for Notre Dame. Mastro Domenico, 2 points and a -10 rating in his last 18 games played. Although he had 5 points in just his first 5 games played, has had a pretty poor stretch since. Check there from Brandon Wynot in front of the student section. Falcons gather the puck in their own zone. A board-to-board pass. The Falcon is decked. Puck still at his feet. That was Adam Zlinka. His return from injury, and he's pounded on this first shift. Wynot dumps it in. Falcons go for a change. Zlinka to chase. Puck dug out of the corner by McKinley. The Falcons back in the O-zone. Morneau battling. Brett Foe gets it poked away. Fellow number 13, Brennan Ali, the Detroit Red Wings draft pick in 2022. Now Notre Dame with their first glimpse of offense. Jaden Davis shot into Steinman outside the crease. The first save of the game for Steiny. He freezes play in his own zone. 3 minutes expired and no score between the Falcons and the Irish.
He sure does, and a good save there for Steinman to get this one back away, but just going in was at the last second trying to get a tap on him was Brendan Ali, and I mean, you're going to expect those kinds of things, but I mean, credit to the Falcons so far. They have played the majority of this game in their offensive zone. They got 3 shots already. They're averaging a shot a minute. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Starting out slow were the Falcons yesterday, kind of found their stride midway through the second period, and by then they had a 1-goal deficit. And they played a goal up from that point on, but was not enough to beat Notre Dame directly. Big check by Stjernberg coming off of his ejection in the first period yesterday. He decks the man, the puck up into the ceiling, and we're going to whistle and drop puck in neutral ice.
You take a look at the 21 penalty minutes as a team BGSU had yesterday, 15 of those being Stjernberg, which while he is still able to play today, it is to be determined if he'll have limited ice time tonight.
Certainly at risk, and again, there was that speculation that he might be serving a suspension for 3 game misconducts this season. Is not doing it today. He's allowed to play, and no bench minor was assessed to the Falcons for having him in the lineup. So he's skating legally, and the Falcons with one of their 2 top defensemen coming into the year, Norris and Stjernberg, which they didn't have for 2.5 periods yesterday. Decked into the corner, Waters battling for the puck. He's got it. He's got Higgins open high slot, but the puck didn't arrive, and it's back out in front of the Notre Dame bench. Higgins with it, neutral ice, poked it ahead to keep it out of the O-zone. It's swept in by Danny Nelson. Had the final shootout attempt yesterday, did the junior first-line centerman, and didn't score on it. A big save for Colmore to get the shootout winner. Touched up high, a high sticking against Higgins, who caught it with the blade of his stick in his own zone. And the puck will face off to the right of Steinman.
I understand what Higgins was trying to do there. You don't want to let Notre Dame get the puck too deep into your own zone. It's just you got to be patient for a second. You got to either play that with your hand or let it go down a little more. But Higgins there just getting the stick up high, and we're going to have a face-off on our near side at the slate.
Back up to the blue line, Mastro Domenico looking in. Puck blocked by Higgins. carried out by Minville. Minville with Hodson down the left side. Minville streaking through the middle. Hodson down behind the goal line. Slashing to the slot was Grant, but he's guarded. And puck peeled off the corner. High slot, McKinley gets a shot. Up high, rebound, comes down across the goal line, but away from the play. Sternberg, slap shot, McKinley, deflected in! Backside! Jeremy Minville, 1-0 Falcons.
How about that, Ben, to get Minville on the board? A beautiful tip, which has been, the downside of Kemp this whole weekend is just those tip passes, just getting them right in front. The shot coming up high from McKinley, gets it right in from Minville, and a credit to him to get this one underway.
4:23 into the first period. Yesterday, Notre Dame, and tonight the Falcons strike first and a lead 1-0. Jeremy Minville, his third of the season. That line of Hodson, Grant, and Minville, and Sternberg and McKinley on the blue line just cycled that puck so well in that offensive possession. Notre Dame wins the draw back. The Falcons with their first lead of the weekend. Never led yesterday. Only chasing. Tied it up a couple of times. A check there. Big one from Will Bell. That's going to deserve a penalty, and that's going to get some heat going in the Falcon end of the ice. Karodiak in. Crampton in. Needing to be separated are the Falcons and the Irish. And the Falcons will go on a power play because of it.
So no extracurricular, or there was extracurriculars. Sternberg was not in there, as we saw the fans on their feet after that one. But as I was trying to say, it can still be very physical. It's not just a one-man show for the Orange and Brown. And one thing that Bowling Green does so well is take care of their own teammates. Just such a tight-knit bond. But either way, that's going to be the penalty. Just writing up on Will Bell is going to get one there, which is not a name that you see much in the penalty column. But either way, Bowling Green going to get a much-needed power play. It just seems to be strung out and strung out. You get the crowd, then you get that goal. Now the power play. Bowling Green starting to get some good momentum here.
Jaden Grant in for the faceoff. Power play unit on for the Falcons. It's not the normal look. Grant, Emerson, and Ryman. Although Higgins and Crampton at the blue line, a normal look on the power play. Grant to Ryman on the right wing side. Ryman looks down to the goal line, and he has Grant back up to the blue line. Puck with Crampton. Higgins had his first goal of his career yesterday. Clean-up chance for the Falcons. Emerson couldn't bury it. BG still with the puck. Back up blue line, Crampton. Crampton with the puck. Center ice, gives it up. Higgins, good pass to Ryman, but a better deflection by Kumlin, the defenseman with his stick in the lane. Here's Crampton, top of the key in the ice of the offensive zone. Crampton up at the blue line again, distributing the puck. Ryman down, goal line. Looking for a pass was Grant. He'll circle the net. Give it back up to Higgins on the left wing side. $1:10 to go in the power play for the Falcons. The penalty to Will Bell. Down in tight. Save made by Kemp. Puck cleared behind the goal line. Notre Dame still can't clear it. Falcons still with full possession, and we got 60 seconds expired in the power play. No clearing yet from the Irish. Higgins looking to pass. Gives the puck up. Ryman battling for it. Grant was shoved into the post, and we're going to get a penalty. And we're going to get it, I believe, against the Irish.
How about that, Ben? For 51 seconds, you get a 5-on-3, but not only do you get that, you're going to get the momentum going for you, which is another thing that you want, and that's going to be assessed to Paul Fisher. He'll get his 37th penalty minute of the season. But one thing that was so special about Bowling Green's power play opportunity there, you got to talk about Higgins. I mean, he's the left defenseman right there. He's pinching. He's all the way over, being such an offensive defenseman, given that extra man advantage. And then what's the just cherry on top? He's able to just get back in time and play defense when he has to with Crampton. So you got to keep Higgins out there. He's going to be with Breck McKinley, and really have a guy that can pinch that well, especially on the 5-on-3. It's not crazy to say BG could have a beautiful opportunity here.
51 seconds of 5-on-3. The Falcons with the puck. Up at the blue line. Higgins down to the right wing side. Ryman back to McKinley. McKinley coming into his own offensively in his junior season. Ryman gives it up. Backdoor Morneau. Didn't land to him. Good deflection by Cole Knuble on defense. He's trying to pin the puck up against the boards. Emerson behind the goal line. Only 3 skaters for the Irish. Emerson's pass deflected again by Knuble. It's in tight with Kempf, and he'll cover it up and hold on. 25 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. Still pleasantries being exchanged. We saw this against Ohio State. Not too much in the fighting realm. down in Columbus, but there certainly was up here in Bowling Green, especially with the big hit by Jeremy Minville in the second period.
Exactly, Ben. And part of that, too, Morneau just getting shoved right by Kempf in front and really not taking a liking to him either. But now that Bowling Green's able to clear house, get some new guys out there, another opportunity to arise. Now you get those fresh legs with 24 seconds left in the 5-on-3.
Puck behind the goal line. 3 Falcons back there to dig it out. They're trying to score with still 5-on-3, so they get more time of 5-on-4. Out of the box comes Will Bell in 10 seconds. The clearing attempt will get down. Bell will come out of the box. It'll be 5-on-4 for 1:10 once the forward comes out. Crampton, stretch pass. Up down the left wing, Duran. He's got Hodson in the middle. Fires it in. Hodson to clean it up. Clearing attempt by Notre Dame. The Falcons will get back first before Bell can. He'll go on the forecheck. Will Bell. 60 seconds to go on the power play for the Falcons. Up 1-0 with 13:10 to go in the first. Waters behind the net. Gives it up to Hodson. Hodson looking in. Back up to Crampton. Crampton feeds it over to the left side and then back to the D-man at the blue line. Niedermeyer feeds it in. Clean up act. Kempf makes the save. Into the corner. Falcons peel it up. Still open ice. 35 to go on the power play. Crampton. The pass intercepted. Back up to Crampton, though, on the clearing attempt by Will Bell. Bell comes right out of the box into the play and hasn't had a change yet. In the corner, 20 seconds to go on the power play. Puck behind the net. Pinned up by Mastro Domenico. Away for Will Bell. He'll get an easy clearance and he'll hold on to the puck with no forecheck from the Falcon forwards. Now he'll clear. 10 seconds, may be enough time for one shot on goal if the Falcons are lucky. Stjernberg out. Falcons no power play unit anymore, and Notre Dame a good penalty kill there and a must-needed one. Down the left wing comes Nelson. His shot blocked a bit by Korodiak. A check against Notre Dame, turns the puck over. Jimmy Jursev, the receiver of that hit, assisted on the first goal yesterday from Notre Dame. That was Henry Nelson, the brother of Danny Nelson, the first line center. Henry Nelson, a second pairing defenseman. Stretch pass up the right wing. Brennan Ali takes a hit from Korodiak, holds onto the puck, stays on his feet, gets checked again by Korodiak, and swooping in is Jake Sloan to turn the puck over and take it into the O-zone. Notre Dame up to the right wing to Brennan Ali. He enters down the right side again, inside the blue line, quickly loses the puck. Bowling Green defending their own zone very well. A bounding puck, Steinman gloves it, gives it up to his guys. 11:15 to go in the first period, 1-0 the Falcons lead. Jeremy Minville, the only goal of the game, the third goal of his season, and an assist from Breck McKinley. Down the right wing, Crampton to Grant, back to Crampton, the recovery, rinks it around out of the blue line again. Notre Dame just can't seem to get an entry here, Dan.
I mean, absolutely. You look at just the opportunities they've had and not being able to capitalize it. But, I mean, Bowling Green has a 5-on-3. But either way, I'm seeing a lot of physicality coming out of guys, like Stjernberg. And then also, too, Jaden Grant able to make a name for himself.
Left side, pass to the slot. Duran didn't land to him. A good shot there by Dom Ryman. Stjernberg's going to get called for a penalty there on Master Domenico, who is streaking with the puck. And the Goose is going to go to the box just for 2.
Seems to be a hooking call there, Ben. Not a bad call to make. Kind of got caught up with him a little bit, they're going to give him a hold. It looks like he kind of got his stick right into his stomach almost, but either way, the 32nd penalty minute that Goose has taken in the past 2 weekend series is, as you look here, just taken right at the guy, tried to get in there and just kind of took him down with him. But now Bowling Green on the penalty kill, which has been one of their strengths so far this season, should not be too much of an issue for the Falcons.
77 penalty minutes this season for Goose. 80 is the record for the newfangled CCHA. Into the Falcon bench. They slap it back into play, but it's out of play. And we'll drop puck, I think, back in the Bowling Green end. 10:20 to go in the first period. Notre Dame with a 5-on-3. They killed off for 51 seconds and then killed off the remaining 5-on-4. Now the Falcons looking to do the same on their first penalty kill. A PK of 85.4% for the Falcons. The power play for Notre Dame, third in the Big Ten out of 7 teams. 28% on the power play. Certainly respectable and around the mark of the Falcons, who have a solid power play. The puck ranked down by the Falcons. Paul Fisher to gather. 1 power play goal for each team yesterday. Cole Knuble, the scorer of Notre Dame's, that in the second period. Down the right wing side, Evan Werner turns it back to the blue line, and he gets open ice. Werner looks in, high slot, puck blocked on a full sell by Morneau. Knuble again, looking for a shot. High right wing wheel. He gets it poked away. Why not? Good defense. Takes it up the left wing. He's defended by Fisher. Puts a cursory shot on Kempf, who will hold on to the puck and go for a faceoff.
What I like about that play, Ben, just nothing fancy from Why Not trying to make a move, trying to turn the puck over, just a short, simple shot right on Kempf, and even if it went to his chest and wasn't an opportunity to get the goal, now you're going to get a new line out there for the orange and brown, and you're also in your offensive zone with a minute 12 left in the Sternberg penalty.
Big face-off win probable if Jaden Grant's able to win it. He, Emerson, and McKinley and Niedermeyer on this penalty kill, but the face-off won by Notre Dame, who have dominated that all weekend. The Stark favorite and face-offs. They have a lot of big centermen. Danny Nelson, 6'3", Sutter Mazzotti, 6'6", Jaden Davis, and Pano Femus, pretty similar. Cole Brown, he's taken into the boards. McKinley away. Niedermeyer, the recovery to clear, and Needs does it, and he'll go for a change. Falcons with a one-man forecheck. It's Brandon Wynot and Luley in the lineup today. He's a heavy player, a good defensive player is Wynot, and he's got 2 points on the season on a goal and an assist. That goal, an empty netter against Ferris State. A big one at the end of night number 2. On the left wing, slowly, is Cole Brown, the forward, with the puck at the blue line, turns it over. Bad turnover there for the freshman. 14 points in his rookie season, but that's a pretty bad turnover in the O-zone on the power play, and that pretty much all but kills it.
Well, Morneau, too, just the one to clear it, and really was the nail in the coffin, as Nelson's going to get a rush on the right before the offside.
Henry Nelson takes the puck in, the horn sounds, and we have our first media timeout of the game. This one brought to you by Juniper Brewing Company, located at 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. 8:28 to go in the first period, 1-0. The Falcons lead with a couple of key penalty kills from both sides. You're listening to Falcon Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcast on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
Whether the Falcons are at the Slater Family Ice Arena or out on the road, the Falcon Media Sports Network is covering them all season long.
Back here in the Slater Family Ice Arena, a positive start for the Falcons, their first lead of the weekend that they've held since 4 minutes and 23 seconds into this first period. Jeremy Minville from Breck McKinley connecting for the first goal. Myself, Ben Korak, along with Dan Ridenauer. Dan, it's a good start for the Falcons, but they got to keep this going for the last half of the first and through the final 40 minutes of this game as well.
That's right, Ben. You can't just get one moment and then think you can take the rest of the night off, but Bowling Green gets all the tools they need. They have the advantages. You know, the crowd helps a ton. I mean, Coach Williams has talked very highly of this crowd, but you also have such a strong penalty kill, which, you know, both sides have been fortunate enough to have tonight, as Notre Dame killed off a 5-on-3 earlier tonight.
The Irish win the face-off, get it back in the offensive zone. Pretty much all of their offensive prowess that they've had today, they've had on their power play, and they've struggled to get anything going offensively. The Falcon defense been too stout so far for the Irish. McKinley with the puck on his own goal line. He gets it out on a disc pass up to Tyler Hodson. Hodson, Minville, and Jaden Grant. Minville almost left the puck, tried to keep it inside the blue line. A big play there by Henry Nelson to turn it over. Dashiell Oliver, offsides. Notre Dame struggled with the offsides this weekend. They've had a couple of pretty solid breakouts and big drives taken away, and I think they had a 3-on-2 there developing if they hadn't been just a bit too far ahead.
Part of that, and then also too, Henry Nelson getting a little ahead of himself and really, trying to set the tone for the Fighting Irish and really, being a little bit just trying to get in there, really just being a more physical player. And seeing there the offside to occur, Sternberg steps up, tries to go a little bit over, and then Nelson was the one to go offside. So we'll see this here as it's won by the Falcons.
Crampton, stretch pass up down the left wing side. Dom Ryman, he's pinned up by Jimmy Jursev, who's wheeled a lot of minutes in these 2 games. He's been more solid defensively even than he has offensively, although he had an assist yesterday, and that's just his 3rd of the season and just his 6th of his career. Back up to the blue line, the slap shot, Karodiak. He scored his first career goal against Northern Michigan and hasn't had a point since. Wraparound try, Duran to clean it up, fires it into Kempf, who makes the save with the left side of his body on the left post. Ryman back up, slap shot, Karodiak dropped down on the doorstep and taken away. On the carry, Niko Jovanovic up to center ice. The forward loses it. Duran with it, with his guys changing. Big pass up, a hot pass. Emerson looks to give it up to the slot, is blocked by Fisher behind the goal line. Falcons skated away anyway. Back up, blue line, Higgins looking for a shooting lane. He gives it up to Foe. Brett Foe, first line left winger now. Best passer maybe on the team the last couple of weeks. He's come into a big spot offensively after missing a couple of games early. Foe misses the puck here, misses the check though as well. Morneau takes a man into the boards. Puck back up to the blue line. BG still in the offensive zone. 6:30 to go in the first period. 1-0 BG leads. Emerson in, check on Jursev. And BG has to retreat, gather the puck in their own zone, and Notre Dame, skating tired, is going to get a change. Sloan in, tries to get the angle on Axel Kumlin. Kumlin, the Stockholm, Sweden native, wearing number 5. 2 Swedes wearing number 5 today. Gustav Stjernberg, Swedish himself, wearing number 5 for the Falcons, and Kumlin, a Swede, wearing number 5 for the Irish. Stjernberg's pass deflected. It was intended for Zlinka. He gets the puck anyway, but south of the goal line in a non-shooting position. Puck dancing, doorstep, cleared away by Notre Dame in their own end, and now carried out by Knuble. Knuble makes a move, working right in. Cole Knuble, the give up, and a block made by Stjernberg with the stick. Shaft of his stick in a good position. Kumlin the shot, blocked by Brandon Wynot. 5:30 to go in the first period. Couple of shots there from Notre Dame, but none of them really getting in towards Steinman.
No matter how much of a loose cannon you want to consider Stjernberg to be, that was such a, I just think this the game changer that really, you see, that's what your defenseman's supposed to do. You're supposed to stay in the middle and try to take the puck away, and Stjernberg just lays his body down, is able to knock it out. Notre Dame tries to get a couple other attempts after that, but all fall short.
Much of why it's unfortunate Stjernberg takes the major penalties that he does is because you want him on the ice as much as you possibly can. And I'm sure his minutes per game average is suffering because of the major penalties that he's been taking, and you wonder how much the game would have been different yesterday had he played from the 18th minute of the first period on, which he didn't. He was ejected for a hit against Cole Knuble, although Notre Dame did not score on the following power play. BG forces it up, the tip in, 5:05 to go in the first period. Kemp plays it behind his net, down a goal. Another stretch pass up for Notre Dame, doesn't connect, and it's going to be an icing against the Irish. And an offensive zone face-off with a shift coming for the Falcons.
Just a lot of rough offensive momentum for Notre Dame, not getting the things that they want. Only 2 shots on goal so far today to Bowling Green's 12. You look here, near 4:57 left in the first period, what that means. And really what it means is Bowling Green has the 1-0 lead, and you're just trying to scrape by, get any shots you can on Steinman, but the Orange and Brown making his job very easy tonight.
It's been limited, only 2 shots on Steinman. He hasn't been tested too much the last couple of weeks, and that's the reason he's averaged a goal per game for the last 3 games that he's played. He hasn't had a 30-save game in quite a long time Steinman hasn't, as the Falcons are back up at the blue line. Crampton plays behind the goal line. Waters with Duran. Duran, the centerman, back up, blue line, Crampton with space. He fires it. It's blocked. Taken away by Duran. He takes it into the boards. A block there by Jaden Davis, and a shot in from the left corner of the blue line by Braden Crampton. Crampton, the freshman, has been an instant impact to the Falcon defensive unit, especially offensively. Norris led BG in defensive points last season with 17. Crampton only 6 points away from tying that coming into this weekend, and he had 2 assists yesterday. Kerr with the shot, missed wide left, the bank, back up to Jaden Davis, who was pinned up. Another shot in. Slaggert was screening in front, but Steinman able to make the save. And now Slaggert in the crease is getting pushed into the crossbar. Must have been Crampton that was giving him a shove. 3:52 going in the first. Hard to believe that something wouldn't break out at some point, Dan.
I mean, absolutely, and Crampton played his part of that. Really started mainly with Higgins, who was just there trying to make sure he didn't screen Steinman. But, I mean, overall, that's only the 4th shot of the game that the Fighting Irish have been able to achieve. And then, trying to get on Higgins. Higgins just trying to clear him out a bit, but definitely starting to get a little chippy following over from yesterday. So could boil over at some point, could keep going. We'll just have to wait and see.
Notre Dame will drop in the O-zone. First line center, Danny Nelson. The draft capital of the New York Islanders is Nelson, his brother on the team as well. On the left wing, Dot Ali pokes it away. Knuble with Ali and Nelson. Knuble, high slot, is poked by Morneau. The rebound chance cleared away. That was Korodiak with his stick, with the puck dancing there for a second in front of Steinman. I don't know if it ever got to him. Puck still clearing attempt. Danny Nelson gives it up right side. Knuble as Nelson is decked. And he goes right back at Quinn Emerson, and a penalty is going to be upcoming. Danny Nelson got checked by Emerson. Emerson got knocked down with his stick flying. And I think they gave the gesture to Emerson too, and maybe both will go, but Danny Nelson's going to be the one. Yeah, Emerson's not happy, but they're going to send both.
Neither's this crowd with the Emerson result, but Nelson definitely just kind of boiled over and got into it a little bit, and it was an unnecessary just action by Nelson that you saw there, and really just kind of boiled over. I mean, you look at it, just takes the cross check right onto Emerson. I'm not sure why you call Emerson in that situation, especially since after the extracurriculars that occurred, he was one of very few Falcons that got into the play.
The only thing I could see is maybe there was an initial check delivered from Emerson to Nelson. He was knocked down to the ice, assuming Emerson made that hit. So maybe a penalty given to Emerson. Obviously the PA system not working, so of course we don't know. I did see a cross-checking gesture given on both, so that's what we're going with right now, and we have 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. Quick shot, Master Domenico, blocked by Tyler Hodson, and is back up. Notre Dame has to circle with it. Notre Dame dominated the Falcons in the 3-on-3 5-minute overtime yesterday. Didn't get a goal out of it, but held on to the puck most of the time. There was a turnover about 2 minutes in, and the Falcons never really got the puck back until it was too late. On the right side, Notre Dame with the puck. Sutter Mazzotti, he works in, makes a move. Quick shot, Steinman makes the save, clears with the right-hand stick. Mazzotti and Werner getting in tight. Werner for the puck now. The Falcons turn it over, and now Hodson carries it out to center. He's defended by 3 Irish, and he smartly turns it back into his own end. Niedermeyer, good pass. Up to Duran, left side. Duran with it. He's forced into the boards. Paul Fisher. Niedermeyer back to Duran in the corner. He's bumped up. Open ice from Jaden Davis. Bowling Green with the puck. Higgins down the right wing. Fed in. Rebound! Nothing there. Niedermeyer for the cleanup act. He was camped out on the blue paint. A big chance, and Kemp's able to make the save. Just inside the blue line. Notre Dame has to carry it out. 45 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. Emerson and Danny Nelson in the box. Danny Nelson's brother, Henry Nelson. He's toppled down to the ice, turns the puck over, and the Falcons with it in their own end. 1:45 to go in the first period. Higgins circling his net. He's pestered on a big forecheck by Cole Knuble. Knuble rides Higgins into his own bench, turns the puck over, but the Falcons come up with the loose puck. McKinley to the left side, Morneau with it. Stjernberg and McKinley both on sides, the lead Falcons up. Morneau lost his stick, stretch pass off the bank, didn't land to Knuble. Steinman has to step out and play it. He does so to the backhand. Stjernberg to the left side. Out of the box comes Emerson. And out of the box comes Danny Nelson. Nelson gets the puck. Right off the sin bin. Down the right wing. He's defended. Gets the puck poked away. BG back south of their goal line. Sloan backhand. Couple of guys change, and the Falcons have a full 5-man unit out now. 5-on-5 for the next 55 seconds here in the first period. 1-0. Bowling Green still leads. Karodiak, Knuble gives it up. Shot. Ali blocked by the Falcons into the net. Stoppage of play with 47 seconds to go in the first. Couple of very nice stick blocks coming from the Falcons here, and their defense has been so stunning here early in this game.
Sure has. The puck just finding its way up to the net, but either way, I mean, talk about such a strong defense, a defense that has only allowed Notre Dame to 4 shots here in the first period at the Madhouse on Mercer. So beyond that, you look at how the defense has stepped up. 2 things in particular, 2 defensemen in particular I want to shout out for doing the same thing is Jackson Niedermeyer and then Ty Higgins, both pinching heavily, playing as the offensive man, trying to get into pressure on Kempf, but also getting back in time on defense to avoid a Notre Dame rush.
BG wins the puck draw. Stjernberg blows a tire, looks to clear it, gets it out to the blue line, but it's held in. Jersev back with the puck. He was the one that held it in. It caroms back to him. Duran with it as one of the Falcons gotten in his way of getting a hold of the puck. BG looking to clear it. They're able to do so. Out to center ice. Emerson pushes it ahead. 20 seconds to go in the first period. BG sporting a 1-0 lead. Behind the goal line, Ryman looks to wrap it to the slot. He puts it off the side of the cage, and Notre Dame skates away. Down the left wing, poked in by Dashiell Oliver. Steinman plays it. Backhand, Waters, Mazzotti. A late hit against Stjernberg, but the puck was away from the Goose. Down the right wing comes Grant. The first period comes to an end. The Falcons with a 1-0 lead. Minville from McKinley and Hodson. The difference in this game, first lead of the weekend for the Falcons, and they take it from the 4.5-minute mark through the end of the first period. The Rick Rowe first intermission report coming up. Again, Bowling Green women's college basketball over on Falcon Radio, streaming at bgfalconmedia.com. That game with 6 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. So go tune in to find out how Bowling Green women's basketball completes the Battle of I-75 against Toledo. If you stay here, we'll talk to you in the Rick Rowe first intermission report coming up. Falcon Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
This is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our 2 stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. I Ziggy.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Falcon Media Sports Network now has a pregame, halftime, and postgame show for every BGSU men's and women's basketball broadcast, starting 25 minutes before each game. Make sure to tune in to hear insights and knowledge from Falcon Media Sports Network analysts. You can listen to every broadcast on WBGU 88.1 FM or Falcon Radio, also streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM. Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and check out BGFalconMedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
You are tuned into live BGSU hockey coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM from the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Here for the first intermission report with Rick Crow. Rick Crow, you've sponsored our intermission report, but you're actually here on the air for a couple of times this season you've done this, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
We're going to be talking over the band here for a minute as they're doing what looks like a halftime performance here in the first intermission on the ice, which is pretty cool to see. But even cooler to see, Rick, was that first period that the Falcons had put together a very nice one, maybe the best that they've played this weekend, and they have their first lead of the weekend as well.
Most definitely. They came out with a purpose. So it was obvious from the very beginning that they were here to play.
That early goal from Minville, they're just really peppering Kemp, the goaltender for Notre Dame, and that was something Willie liked to see, or wanted to see coming into this game, was them getting more traffic to him, and it looks like they've done so far.
Oh yeah. It was, I don't even know what the shots are right now. They don't have them up, but I know it was a lot to a little.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been keeping track as well. Gustav Stjernberg he has 3 majors on the season, was supposed to be suspended, I guess, according to NCAA rules, but he's in the lineup today and they're letting him play, which is big. But yesterday, obviously, you were at the game in Notre Dame. What did you see from that game, not just from Goose, but the entire game that led to a shootout from the Falcons and kind of a comeback fashion?
Well, I think when Goose took that major, and I don't mean to go back to Goose, but it changed the whole complexion defensively of the team. He's an offensive threat as well as a very, very good defenseman, and it's obvious when he's out there. And when he's not out there, we have to work harder. And we had a couple of bad bounces. The only bad goal I saw, I think, was the first goal. The second one looked like Higgins was trying to block it with a skate, and ended up deflecting into the net. I watched the video last night on TV on Peacock, and he actually moved his skate there to block the puck, and it just ricocheted right into the net.
Sometimes, as an opponent, especially, better to be lucky than good. Maybe got a little bit lucky on that shot there. A decent crowd for Bowling Green and Notre Dame. Thought like they brought a pretty good amount of energy, but especially the defensemen. First time in a couple of years that they played 2 periods without Goose and without Dalton Norris, who's your captain. That's an alternate captain and a captain, maybe your 2 best defensemen coming into the year, and the defensemen still able to stand pretty tall, especially the rookies and Niedermeyer, who are all in their first season playing NCAA defensemen.
Well, Niedermeyer has played D in the past. He came over as a defenseman from Arizona State, but So he's not. It's not like he's not used to playing D. He's definitely. We want a good skater back on D, and he's definitely a good skater. But I was impressed with the freshmen that came in last night. They were solid.
Higgins, his first goal, that was an absolutely gorgeous shot. Maybe the
beautiful
goal of the weekend right now, and Morneau having his and his return. Higgins not playing the first half of the year, very unfortunate. Morneau not playing the last couple of weeks, been very unfortunate as well. But yesterday and today making their presence known, certainly. A couple of good shifts for both of them today, although no points.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I expect the score to be a bit different after the end of the second, but we'll see.
Yeah,
second's isn't our best period by a long shot, but I think that has shifted a little bit in the second half of the season.
No, it's not. The only period that we have losing goal differential, I would say. The first and the third leading opponents, but the second trailing opponents. Also shots on goal, Pepper and Kemp. They have 13 shots on goal to only 4 for Notre Dame. Do you feel like that's more due to the offense getting where they need to be or the defense being where they need to be to stop rushes?
Oh, it's both. But offense definitely came out with a purpose. Like I said earlier, they were just from the time the puck dropped, they started peppering their goalie. So who do they have in net tonight?
Nicholas Kemp, same guy as yesterday. Yeah.
He played well last night.
Yeah, both goaltenders yesterday. Cole Moore. How do you feel about the alternation of goaltenders? Cole Moore the first night, Jacob Simon the second night. Do you feel like that's going to sustain through the rest of the season, or are they going to shorten it down at a certain point?
I think they're going to maintain it. It's hard to beat when you have two goalies playing as well as both of them are. You don't want to not play one, of course, it caused bad feelings, and no, Cole Moore has made a 360-degree turnaround, or 180-degree turnaround.
Yeah, 4 for 4 on shots today is Steinman, and Cole with 3 goals allowed and 30 saves yesterday. Going forward into the second period and the third period, not much you can do to top this first besides maybe just putting more goals up, but we've seen this before where the Falcons kind of sag off in the second. What do you think they need to do going into the second period, maintain this energy and keep the offense going especially?
It's a good question. I wish I had the answer to that. I mean, skating, our speed is definitely better than theirs, and I think we have to use that to our advantage. And in the second period, that's very key, given where the offensive zones are in relation to the benches. So if you can maintain a presence in the offensive zone and get line changes on the fly, that's key.
You want to give a score prediction for how the game's going to finish today? Looking for their second Big Ten win of the season is Bowling Green.
Last night I said 4-1, but I'm not sure.
I think it's going to be more or less.
I think it might be 2 or 3-1.
2 or 3-1.
Yeah, their goalie's playing well, but if we keep peppering them like we're doing now, it could go to 4-1.
Still a very good game, a great crowd in here as well, and
definitely.
We'll look over the way and see you celebrating for some more goals over in your seats.
All
nice to talk to you again, Rick.
Nice
You're always welcome up here during intermissions. Rick Crow, first intermission report. We'll be back in just a moment on Falcon Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
On September 30th, 2025, BGSU men's soccer forward Bennett Painter ended his multiple-match scoring drought with a goal against Northern Kentucky, helping the Falcons defeat the Norse 2-0 to end a 2-match losing streak at Cochran Stadium. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer had the call on WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
Hernandez, Terry gets it back to Hernandez, gives it through to Bennett Painter, takes a curling shot, it's in! Oh, what a goal and what a strike from Bennett Painter! Another masterpiece at Cochran Stadium, painted perfectly on the canvas. It's 2-0 Bowling Green.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
BGSU women's basketball travels to the Mack Center in Kent, Ohio to battle Kent State on Wednesday, February 4th. Listen to the broadcast from Falcon Media Sports Network's Trey Kennedy and sports content director Lucas Kleinmeyer at 7 p.m. with a pregame show from Gavin Gill at 6:35 on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media takes pictures for nearly all BGSU and Bowling Green related events throughout the year. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com to check out thousands of photos and all the content.
Bowling Green women's tennis seeks to stay undefeated as they battle the Dayton Flyers at the Perrysburg Tennis Center on Friday, January 30th at 1 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Dawson Pelter will have a recap with photos after the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Check out the Zig Zone Sundays from 4 to 6 p.m. here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here in the Slater Family Ice Arena, a couple of minutes left in our Rick Drove First Intermission Report. Longtime BGSU hockey fan, listener of WBGU 88.1 FM, and one of our analysts as well. Talked in the first half of this intermission report. We have Dan Ridenauer back on the sticks now, and Dan, a pretty good first period as we talked about with Rick just a minute ago, and big things for the Falcons to continue going into this second period of action.
That's right, Ben. I mean, what a foundation to lay for yourself in that first period for the Orange and Brown, and really got a little chippy at times, but still were able to keep it together, which is an improvement from yesterday's period. But something about Notre Dame that you got to take in consideration. You look at the schedule, their record overall, 5-18-1 overall, but you take a look. On the road, they're 1-9. Their only road victory this season coming against Merrimack College in November. That was a 5-4 win, but Bowling Green striking first and having the crowd behind him is just lessening those chances for Notre Dame to find their second road win of the year.
Bowling Green again is trailing their opponents in the second period, but they're climbing ever so close to making that a 500 battle or even a winning battle. They have 24 goals in the second period this season, 27 they've allowed, but they're leading the first and the third by over 10 and leading overtime as well. Overall leading opponents 79-58 this season. The second period's been a struggle, and it's all going to be coming out with energy, Dan, but considering the sold-out crowd, considering how much energy is coming from that first period, even aside from just the goal that was scored by Jeremy Minville, shouldn't be too difficult of a task to get the team ready for the middle 20.
While that period was definitely exhausting, it was difficult, and can only imagine just the effort and the grueling just tenacity it took for both Bowling Green and Notre Dame to get through it. Something you got to take into consideration, Bowling Green is helping out Jacob Steinman tremendously. And while he's had to step up and make 4 saves so far in this period, the fact that you have such a good defensive core and the fact that you have been able to be on the power play and play so much time in the offensive zone and just pressure Kempf as much as you have, that has to be a plus when you're looking at positives from the first period.
He's going to feed off of that Bowling Green student section. The goaltender's switching sides, and Steinman will be right in front of the bleacher creatures here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. 1-0. The Falcons lead off of Minville and McKinley and Hodson with the assist. Minville's third of the season and first in 2026. Dan, going into the second and the third. We talked about the offense. We talked about the defense. The goaltending's been solid, but what do you think Notre Dame's going to bring out in the second period to try and get up even and maybe even get a lead over the Falcons today?
What the Fighting Irish are going to have to bring is just to need more shots. I mean, that was definitely a key to consider going into this, but also now the fact that you haven't struck first in this game, you have to find at some point to try to even it up, try to get your momentum going, because now you're at a disadvantage, and even more so with this crowd that has just been deafening all night. You're just going to be at a lot of disadvantages, but really the only way to score goals is by shooting the puck. So if I'm Notre Dame, I'm going to have to shoot it more, because you're at a situation where that's really your only option.
1-0 here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. The Falcons lead 56-49. The Falcons trail up at Savage Arena. The Battle of I-75 for women's basketball. The Falcons with a game lead over Toledo on the entire season. 11-9 are the Falcons, 10-8 are Toledo, but they are up 7 with 42 seconds to go in the fourth. For the final seconds of that game, go to Falcon Radio, streaming at bgfalconmedia.com. Before we bring you back to this game, we'll take a quick break. Falcon Hockey here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Northwest Ohio's community radio station is currently looking for music submissions from local and regional artists. As a local non-commercial radio station, WBGU celebrates local musicians and offers opportunities for independent artists to get their music out to the local community on 88.1 FM and worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com. Submit your materials now by snail mail or Facebook. Get your music on local radio with WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
Check out bgfalconmedia.com for previews, recaps, photos, videos, and more of the Falcons.
Notre Dame with a record of 5-18-2 this season and 1-13 in conference. The Falcons 14-6-5 and 11-4-3 in conference. Two different seasons. Bowling Green really competing in the CCHA. Notre Dame not doing that in the Big Ten, but still fighting for pride here, not losing to a team from a conference that Dan frankly might be viewed as below the Big Ten, and you might have an argument there, but they played pretty even so far, even though the Falcons have the edge 1-0.
Exactly, and you look at too just the situations up ahead as Notre Dame trying to get into the second period on the high note and really try to set the tone here against the CCHA of the Orange and Brown.
Notre Dame quickly takes it in. A pass from the left side. Ali intended for a defenseman. Morneau was offsides, now onsides as he takes it up. The pass was picked off and got to Morneau on the opponent blue line, which is on the left side of your radio dial now. Through center ice, Cole Knuble. He passes it to the slot intended for Kumlin. Good move there by Ben Duran. He's got some open ice. Bank pass up to central ice. Now down the left wing comes Knuble. Defended by Karodia. Knuble gives it up. Mazzotti pushes it in. Oh, he missed the play. Tripped down behind the goal line. We're going to get a penalty against the Falcons, but defending a huge rush there. That was Mazzotti to what looked like Werner.
Can't be too mad about that, but yeah, just seeing there, Karodia able to get his hands a bit high and does the cross check on that one, and really, you look at that and you know that you have to make that stop if you are the defenseman there to try to avoid the goal, and while it will be just a 2-minute one, now you're going to be back on your penalty kill, which has been strong as of late, and also realizing too, now is a good opportunity to try to clear it out and go to the south side of the Madhouse on Mercer.
Jaden Grant in for the draw against Danny Nelson. 0 for 2 on their power plays, or Notre Dame. In for the draw and won it back to the blue line. Paul Fisher, the defenseman and pretty much the point guard of this power play. Third in the Big Ten. 28% on the season. High slot, Nelson give it up, slap shot, score! Left side, looked like Evan Werner. The penalty to Karodiak results in a goal for Notre Dame, and they tie it up at 1.
And there you'll have it. That was a short-lived power play for the Fighting Irish, and just the goal to get that one away again by Evan Werner, just getting on the board again for his 11th of the season, and then going to celebrate by the Greenbrier sign in Section D of the slate, and then just a rough one to go for it. But, you know, unexpected as well, just how the penalty kill lately has been for Bowling Green. Just seems like a bit of a slip-up that Notre Dame will take advantage of. 2
power play points this weekend for Werner. Had an assist with Mazzotti on Cole Knubel's power play goal yesterday. And that goal differential for the Falcons continues to suffer in the second period. They've given up 1 and have not scored yet, just a minute in. Behind the net of Steinman in front of the student section. Bowling Green lifts it up from there, and it's touched back defensively by Jaden Kerr. Kerr, just a sophomore defenseman for Notre Dame. Loses the puck. Niedermeyer with a good shot. Poked down south of the goal line by Kempf in the blue paint for Notre Dame. He had 28 saves, 3 goals allowed yesterday. Sternberg defends the puck in the turnover. Minville back up to the blue line and into the corner for Hodson. Grant behind. He looks for a pass. From behind, Kempf loses the puck in the corner. Werner gets it away. Mazzotti peels it outside of the blue line. The Falcons out of the offensive zone, although they have puck possession. Morneau, a good pass, right side, good shot by Niedermeyer, missed up high. Niedermeyer's got a good amount of shots today. Has been playing better defensively lately, but still brings a solid amount of offenses. Here's a icing against Notre Dame and a face-off coming for the Falcons in the O-zone.
What's crazy too, Ben, is just how much that goal changed the kind of momentum of things and how different this game became. I mean, you look at that's only the 5th shot on net for the Fighting Irish that they'll have, so just that means 1 in every 5 is this average on Steinman so far this season. Is while that will continue this game is unlikely, but still interesting to see the shot differential, and now Bowling Green going to have an opportunity in their offensive zone.
Morneau, a good face-off man, especially for a freshman. He wins it back to Higgins, the defenseman and the rookie, with a goal scored yesterday. Looking for more points today. The Falcons tied up with Notre Dame. A goal this period on the power play by Evan Werner and assisted by Danny Nelson and Cole Knubel. Puck up at center ice, a stoppage. We get another drop coming.
Exactly, and 2, you'll look for what Bowling Green will choose to answer back with, and part of that is they will change their offensive core and going to head back to Dominic Ryman, Ben Durant, and then Brody Waters, that second line that has been all reliable for them as well. And then also, too, going to get Higgins and Niedermeyer off for your next one, and Breck McKinley and Braden Crampton.
A neutral zone faceoff, one back to Notre Dame, scampering back to gather the puck is Drew Mackey back in his own end of the ice. Drew Mackey has only played 6 games this season, 7 yesterday, 5 of those 6 in 2026, and he's played every game since his first game played back in the new year. Mastro Domenico, who missed yesterday, another defenseman, takes it down the right wing. He's bumped. The Falcons look to turn it over. They can't do it. Still with the puck down the left wing. Dashiell Oliver, the freshman, and the forward. Gets the puck lifted out to center ice. Bowling Green chases. Notre Dame playing like the Falcons did in the first, completely dominating the puck possession. Behind the net is Mackey, waiting for his guys to get in the right combination. Will Bell off the bench is the last piece needed. Up the left wing comes Jaden Davis. He's steered into the corner by Sternberg, but he gets the puck away, and it's to Will Bell. Puck almost picked off by Adam Zlinka, newly in the lineup today. Jovanovic loses the puck. Up out of play, or up out of the offensive zone. It's fired in by Notre Dame towards Steinman, and Bowling Green will come back up with the puck, played by the freshman goaltender. Up at center ice again, turned over. Jake Sloan pokes it ahead, looking for himself. Down the left wing, working in. Panofimis with a shot right into the chest of Steinman, and a routine save is made with about 4 minutes expired in the second period and a 1-1 tie.
Notre Dame's offense has picked up the pace here in the second period, is looking for the improvement so far, but a noticeable just impact, especially as just the shot count. I mean, you're already 4 minutes into the period and you have just one shy of the same amount you had in the first period alone. But either way, Steinman's starting to get tested a bit, but Bowling Green seems unfazed by it as we'll continue onward here in the second.
3 shots on goal and 2 saves made, for Jacob Steinman. The other one allowed on a power play. That was Evan Werner on the power play, his 11th goal of the season, part of that 2-man duo of him and Mazzotti on the second line. That's just so deadly. The 2 leading point scorers, Werner and Mazzotti. In the offensive zone, the Falcons now. Good pass down to Minville. Goal line working in. Chance there. Rebound try. And save made by Kemp with a lot of traffic in front of him. Down deeper. The Falcons putting together some offense now. Minville to Higgins. Faked a one-timer. Lost the puck for a second. It's out the blue line. Hodson and Henry Nelson getting tangled up in front of the blue paint, but no call coming as it was being given back and forth. A bump from Hodson, puck away. Notre Dame out to center ice. The blue and gold and green. Cole Knubel, good move. He gets the puck poked away. The shot is missed. Brennan Ali with that chance and it missed wide left of Steinman. Good passing up. Foe didn't connect with him, but he gets the angle. Morneau a shot, just missed wide left. No save needed by Kempf on that puck. He just let it fly. Behind the goal line, Emerson playing with Morneau. Now to Stjernberg, back up blue line. He fans on this shot. Mazzotti pokes it away. 3-on-3 the other way. Mazzotti working in, gets poked. Steinman the save. A rebound try. Did it go? And yes, it did. A goal is given to Notre Dame as they worked in tight with Steinman. Crampton slow to get up. An odd play there, but the gesture is given from the referee.
Now, let's hold the phone here, Ben. Just you see that going in, and what I'm wondering is because Sternberg got caught up and you see an impact being made just right there on the number 28 of Mazzotti with Notre Dame. If I'm Coach Williams, I'm wanting to challenge this for goaltender interference here, and you very well might get it. Whether or not it doesn't go through, you have a very plausible reason to challenge this one, but it looks like Williams will choose not to.
A 2-1 lead for Notre Dame. They take their fourth lead of the weekend. Yesterday a 3-3 tie. They had a lead and all 3 goals scored. Bowling Green offsides. They have to get back onsides. Now trailing 2-1, even though they starkly outplayed Notre Dame in the first period. The second period, the Irish have come out with a vengeance. Waters and Duran. Duran's pinned up in the corner. Waters with the puck away. Ryman out to the blue line. Good stick work. To Niedermeyer. The shot in. Save made. Kempf. The rebound dancing. Ryman behind the goal line looking for a pass. That red line guarded by Mackey. Swept away and out to center ice. The Falcons have it, but will have to wait for Ben Duran to get back on sides as he was late. Kempf plays the puck. The goal is given credit to Sutter Mazzotti, who worked in down the left wing, defended by 2 Falcons, and just put a shot in that squeaked by Jacob Steinman. Was bumped a little bit at the play. Here coming in, right side, Grant the shot, looking for his 9th of the season. As Hodson's bumped into the boards, the puck caroms into the corner. Hodson defended by Jursev, the biggest defenseman that they have. 6'5" is Jursev. Hodson looked to carry the puck with him, but left it right where it stood. To Korodiak, left wing side. Shot in, deflected off of the calf of Hodson, it looked like. Over toward Kempf, but he shut it off. Notre Dame coming up the right wing side. 13 to go in the second period. 2-1, Notre Dame leads both goals here in the middle frame. Puck turned over. Pass to the slot. Doesn't land to Carter Slaggert, and it's poked out by Bowling Green. Here's Brett Foe ahead. Down the right wing on a breakaway. Foe the shot into the chest of Kempf. And Foe's getting touched up now behind the net of Kempf. Kumlin, and looks to be Morneau also getting into it a bit. And just a breakaway for Brett Foe there with no score coming from it.
Foe got close on that one, but really you have to just look a little more in depth. Kumlin just really shut off that angle to get a shot off, just really goes in the chest of Kempf, and then you see the extracurriculars after, and Noah Morneau wasting absolutely no time to get in there and help his teammate out, as it's just another scrum to add to the repertoire tonight.
Mazzotti and Femus combining for that goal a minute ago. And now a 2-1 lead for Notre Dame. Morneau wins the draw back. He's been good on those today. Shot in, blocked. Niedermeyer off the half wall to himself, defended by Danny Nelson and now Henry Nelson. The two brothers get tied up in the corner with Niedermeyer and Brett Foe. The two seniors work the puck free. Brennan Ali takes a hit. Puck turned over. Quinn Emerson lost it, and it's ahead for Cole Knubel. Offsides should be the call against this play, but the Falcons will get it back, so no need. Up to neutral ice. Crampton plays at center. His pass disrupted. Puck away to Brennan Ali in his own zone. 12:05 to go in the second period. 2-1. Notre Dame leads. Pass to the right wing side. Danny Nelson turns it back to the blue line, looking for Brennan Ali. Gives it up to the defenseman Mastro Domenico, whose shot in is chipped away by the stick of Steinman. Center ice on the logo. Dom Ryman skating with Mastro Domenico. Puck free to the Falcons. Loose puck. Won by Jaden Kerr. He skates it away. Another big defenseman, 6'4", 228. Just a sophomore and only 8 points scored in his career, which has totaled 130 games. Down to the corner. To the left side, Mastro Domenico again. Down to the goal line, Jovanovic back up to Mastro Domenico. Left wing at the blue line, working in. His shot deflected in front. Big traffic. Couple of Falcons, couple of Irish, but it doesn't get through to Steinman. 7 shots on goal to 4 shots on goal. Notre Dame leading this period. The Falcons led 13-4 in the first. Stretch pass touched by Zlinka. No icing against Bowling Green, but they won't get the puck. Femus now in his own zone, sweeps it out to center. Played by Niko Jovanovic. Jovanovic has played only 7 games, all of them in 2026. The first on January 2nd against Western Michigan, a series between these two teams swept by the Broncos. As this puck is covered up by Kempf, a whistle with 10:40 to go in the second.
Still continuing on with the almost extracurricular plays that happened for a moment. Why not being a figure of it? But yeah, you look at just the play, the way it was going. You talk about Bowling Green and just the lack of shots this period has been their Achilles heel. Is around halfway through the second period, but on the south side of the Madhouse on Mercer, Bowling Green does have it in their offensive zone, which means that you have a chance here. Notre Dame lighting 3 up in front of Kempf, not putting a defenseman in the corner of the circle.
BG wins a faceoff again, still losing in that category, but they've won some big ones, especially in the O zone. Here's Minville. Minville is tripped down to the ice. Puck behind the goal line. Minville in front. A chance on Kempf by Hodson. Now high slot, another shot deflected down. Hodson back to the puck. He tries to center it, and it comes between both defensemen, Korodiak and Sternberg. A delayed penalty coming against Notre Dame. Out of the crease comes Steinman over to the bench long. Stretch pass up. Ben Durand down the left wing side. The Falcons with 6 skaters. Pass to the right side. Here's McKinley to give up the puck. Touched by Notre Dame. A power play coming to Bowling Green and a chance to tie it up. 9:59 to go in the second period. A power play after this media timeout. Sutter Mazzotti is going to head to the box for 2. You're listening to Falcon Hockey here on WBGU 88.1 FM. Bowling Green women's track heads west to South Bend, Indiana to compete in the Mayo Invitational on Saturday, January 31st. Head to bgfalconmedia.com for a recap of the event by Falcon Media Sports Network's Brendan Mendoza and more news about BGSU athletics.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Ben Korak and the Falcon Media Sports Network crew covering the Falcon hockey team throughout the season.
Back here in the Slater Family Ice Arena, that timeout brought to you by Juniper Brewing Company, proud creators of the Ale Ziggy Zumba, a light ale made in collaboration with BG Athletics. A fan favorite here in the Madhouse on Mercer, also available at 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green. Visit Juniper Brewing Company, details at juniperbrew.com, their website. 10 minutes to go in the second period. We're halfway through. 2 goals already scored by Notre Dame, one by Evan Werner, another by Sutter Mazzotti, the 2 leading scorers for Notre Dame, proving why they are as such. But Sutter Mazzotti goes to the box, and the Falcons have the power play for the next 2. Ben Duran for the faceoff. A false start whistled against Notre Dame, it looks like. Duran will drop with Carter Slaggert, junior South Bend, Indiana native. His father was the associate head coach of Notre Dame until last season, where he pursued NHL opportunities and is currently recruiting coordinator for the Edmonton Oilers. Back up blue line. Falcons on the power play. Niedermeyer. McKinley to Duran. Left wing at the dot. Gives it up to the right side on a lift pass. And Niedermeyer has to take it back up to the blue line. Into the skates of Hodson. Hodson's pass is deflected. Puck, free puck in the corner, won by Bowling Green. Duran back out to the blue line. Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer working in. His pass deflected. Danny Nelson will skate it away. Up the left wing, Carter Slaggert with him, defended by Duran. He'll ice it away, get a change for the rest of his Irish teammates. About 9 minutes to go in the second period, 1:10 to go in the power play. Crampton for Duran to get the entry. He gets it on the left side. Hodson with Duran, and Duran circles it back to the blue line. Higgins, the freshman defenseman, a power play goal yesterday, his first career goal. First career on the power play. Crampton the shot, knocked down. A good shot by Crampton, who can't hold the puck inside the blue line. Referee off of his skates, keeps it at neutral ice. 40 seconds to go in the power play. Falcons trailing 1. Through the middle of the ice, Crampton to the left side. Grant, he looks down to Crampton. Back up, blue line, Higgins gives it up. Slap shot, Fandon Dom Ryman into the corner. Slapped up. The clearing attempt from Paul Fisher won't go. Another one tried by Kumlin out to center ice. He can clear it. 20 seconds on the power play. BG will have to work fast to get a man advantage goal. Sutter Mazzotti will come out of the box. A big scorer. You got to be aware of him. Here's Higgins. Right wing boards. He works in. Good pass to the backside. Emerson didn't land. Deflected off of Axel Kumlin. Mazzotti will take a second to get in the play. On the left side of your radio dial. Now he's in it. The Falcons do not score on the power play. Higgins was going for a change. The puck at his feet. It'll be a delayed change for him. He and Crampton will skate tired. Mazzotti a pass. Back into his own end as he missed. 7:40 to go in the second. Down the right wing, Carter Slaggert gets a tip. Steinman has to stop it in his net. 0 for 3 on the power play are the Falcons. Pass up to Mastro Domenico. The defenseman with the puck. Goal line, looking for a pass. Wrap around try to Steinman, who's able to shut it off. Some checks being thrown. Mazzotti skating away with Ty Higgins, the grad student and the freshman. But nothing will come of it, and a save made by Steinman.
Mazzotti's starting to get fed up there with Higgins, but really, let's take it back to that Bowling Green power play. So close and opportunities just, I talked about earlier in the pregame just a little bit about Bowling Green and, you know, that happy medium on passing. And really, when you look at the opportunities you have, especially too, I noticed it with Niedermeyer going in on that left side, passed it, turned over by Notre Dame. Had a bit of a shooting lane if you just move a tad over to the left. So we're seeing that a little bit. Saw Crampton as well move a little more to the right. Didn't need to pass it. So either way, Bowling Green going to be in their defensive territory, going back for it again. Even strength with 7:17 left in the second period.
Danny Nelson falls on the puck in the dot, doesn't cover it up. The shot in by Mackey off of the half wall. Kind of caroms over to Steinman, but off the side of the net instead of to the freshman goaltender. Puck behind. And a try for Werner, but couldn't be settled down. Still behind the goal line, pinned up Stjernberg back there, and out to Minville. He lifts it off the half wall to clear it. The Falcons up to central ice. Crossing the center line, Minville down the right wing with speed, gives it up. Grant trying to find another orange jersey. He does so to Minville. Minville pass, settled down by Niedermeyer, left wing boards, lifted behind the goal line. Grant back up blue line. Niedermeyer, big slap shot. That one was a hummer, and it missed wide left though. 6:30 to go in the second period. 2-1. Notre Dame leads here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. Puck peeled away by Danny Nelson. How many minutes has he played already today? Evan Werner the shot in to the chest of Steinman. He keeps it in play. A penalty wanted by the Bowling Green bench for too many men, but no call coming, so nobody extra in the play. Notre Dame turns it over in the offensive zone, but then the Falcons steal it right back. McKinley, Niedermeyer off of a stick up in the air, maybe more playable for Duran. Ryman, fast skater, gets back to the puck first, gets it to another orange jersey. Crampton turns it over now. BG back in their defensive zone. Notre Dame looking for their third of the period. Slap shot, Henry Nelson dancing in the slot. Kept in by Brennan Ali, but the Falcons get to the puck first and skate it out to center. Tipped ahead, Brennan Ali, the pass doesn't land to him. That was intended for him from Dashel Oliver. The freshman Dashel Oliver, Bloomington, Indiana native. 2 points in his last 19 games played. Not a big scorer is Oliver, as there's a shot from Morneau that misses the corner, and Oliver takes a check from the fellow freshman. McKinley in the corner. He dodges the hit. Puck up in the air. He drops it. And a big check against Morneau. He's down on the ice now, back up onto his feet. The Falcons wanting that call. The bench did, the fans did, and nothing coming to the Falcons. Penalties are one more in favor of Bowling Green. 8 minutes served for Notre Dame and 6 for the Falcons. 2 of those for each team offsetting. Wrist shot, save made, Kempf. A nice shot it was from the right side by Duran, but doesn't beat the goaltender. 4:30 to go in the second, 2-1. Notre Dame leads.
Close call, drop back to Duran for the shot, and almost was able to find that one there, but still been, officiating-wise, been more kind of just relaxed and not calling every little thing so far tonight. And you know what, there's their positives and negatives to that, but either way, Bowling Green going to try to get this line out of here. You got Karodiak out, you got Sternberg out, and then you're going to get Zlinka, Duran, and Wynot as well. So looking to see how these guys can contribute with around 4:30 left in the second period.
Haven't seen much of Jake Sloan, and even in for the draw now is Ben Duran, playing with the fourth line forwards of Zlinka and Wynot. Down Knubel behind the goal line. Sternberg with a poke check, turns the puck over, back in his own zone. This is where the puck has lived, in the right side of your radio dial. That's where the Bowling Green defensive zone is, and Notre Dame has taken it in there pretty much at will this period. Just 4 minutes to go in the second. Bowling Green trails 1. Slaggert down the left wing, shot in. Steinman didn't move post to post quick enough, but no shot. Here's Kerr, his shot off of the stick of Duran and up into the netting.
Quite a play there, Ben, and just another step up. It's been both Bowling Green and Notre Dame tonight who have done so, which is just trying to get the opportunities, and once it gets off the stick, just getting that good deflection to try to get it out of play, get it away from either just you look at it from Steinman or take it a little bit more in depth to Kempf. So you're going to see here again another opportunity. Notre Dame has been lining up 3 in front of the goaltender. Bowling Green going to have a similar situation, but instead of 3 out, they're going to have a triangle almost in play right in front of Steinman with Jaden Grant to take the faceoff.
Maybe an off the draw play enforced here for Notre Dame. They haven't really utilized too much, but that play might be moot now. Evan Werner has to step in and take the draw, and in fact loses it back to Bowling Green. They tip it ahead out to central ice. The puck takes a weird bounce intended for Hodson. He has to circle back to the play. Working in, Grant, quick shot on Kempf. Wrap around, another try for McKinley, who was in tight. Back up to the blue line. Tried to hold it in. It was the Falcons, but couldn't. Crampton slaps it away. Up in the neutral zone. Grant on the half wall. D-to-D pass, a hinge play up. Emerson tips ahead. Sorry, Minville tips ahead, number 8. He disrupts the puck, and it slowly trickles. Now Cole Brown, Niedermeyer gives it up. Duran back to Niedermeyer down to the goal line. Minville in the corner. He gets tripped down. A boarding call is going to come there to Cole Brown. Ryman giving a check, pulling him away is the Irish. Duran was in the corner. He looks okay. He was down on the ice with his head to the boards for a minute. Falcon fans not happy about that hit. It's going to be penalized.
Ben, to be honest, that's a dirt cheap play there by Cole Brown, and it's what you expect from a guy like him. I mean, that's going to be his 58th penalty minute of the game. Just out of everybody who is playing so far in this series, he is second to only Gustav Sternberg. So you look at kind of him, and there's going to be some review here, but it's good to see that Duran's okay, and also, too, just the way that Bowling Green was able to support Duran going into that and starting to get the pushing and shoving going. But if Bowling Green could have a situation where they're going to be on a power play for 5 minutes, you could only imagine what could happen from there.
Assistant coach Matt Nicholson talking to the power play unit right now on what their play is going to be, depending on what this is. It is going to be 2 minutes right now, but the only other review this weekend was upgraded to a major. That was against Gustav Sternberg in the first period yesterday. Around the same time in the first, within the last 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty clearly a pretty bad boarding. Head right into the corner. That's a hit that you have to avoid.
Absolutely, Ben. You have that, and then also, too, you have just a bit of a trip up there as just seeing just the opportunities that gone up away, and you see the trip up going on Minville and everything like that. So maybe you see another situation, 2-1, but we're going to have the verdict here in just a second.
And he's going to be sent off. A 5-minute major and a 10-minute game misconduct to the freshman Cole Brown. We've got 2 of those these weekends. The Falcon fans wave goodbye, and we're going to have 5 minutes of major penalty for the Falcons to score on a power play.
Well, now that Brown has left early, he'll go get some concessions. He may go get something else, but beyond that, now you have 2 players that have been ejected this weekend, just showing how physical it has been. But I think beyond that, you got to look at the other details. Bowling Green, for not only the 5-minute major, but for the rest of this period, is going to have the power play, and then they get to start the third period, which is a period they seem to do fairly well in. Going to be on the power play, so we'll see here what they can do. They're lining up Higgins almost as a wing right with Ryman, and then they're putting Crampton up right at the blue line.
Higgins, the only power play goal for the Falcons yesterday, as Notre Dame wins the draw and is able to ice it down, but not too much harm, at least early in a 5-minute major. And again, a score does not pull the man out of the box, and it's Brennan Ali that's going to serve the 5 in place of Cole Brown, who's off the ice. Entry from Dom Ryman. Good pass out. The feed into Ryman as he was streaking toward the net, but the pass doesn't land, and it caroms behind the goal. Nobody guarding the blue line. The puck back into the Bowling Green end. 2:30 to go in the second period. A must-score power play for the Falcons. They're trailing by 1. And a big opportunity given to them by Cole Brown. And luckily, Ben Duran not injured, at least by what we can see. Here's a stretch pass up to Mazzotti. Mazzotti works in. Backhand, now forehand, drags it. Still has the puck in the corner. Looks to give it up. Bowling Green looks to turn it over. A big body Mazzotti. It's tough to get the puck away from him, as the Falcons have just learned. They take it down to the goal line. Bowling Green gets a couple of man change. Mazzotti looks to clear it. It's skated out by Knubel. Under 2 to go in the second period. A shot from Fisher into the chest of Steinman. The draw is coming in the Falcon end. They really haven't done too much on the power play, and about a minute and 10 seconds expired.
Sure thing, and I mean, too, you look at the drop back as Bowling Green attempted that earlier, and you get a close call there for Fisher trying to get it away from Knubel, but beyond that, now you got a Notre Dame team who is shorthanded for the near future, and while they were able to get the clear, now Bowling Green is back to square one, where they have to try to get the breakout and go to the south side of the Slater.
BG trailing by 1. A minute 45 to go in the second period. We have a full 20 coming in the third, and maybe some power play. Actually, definitely some power play to serve out as well. The Falcons can score as many as they want. Hodson gives it up to Waters. Waters pass to the left wing to Duran. Is deflected a bit defensively by Notre Dame. A give and go from Niedermeyer and Duran. Duran back up Niedermeyer at the blue line. Skating defense with McKinley is Niedermeyer. Shot in, and a glove save made by Kempf. A screen in front by Waters, but no rebound for him to try and clean up.
Close call, and it's about time for Bowling Green just getting the chances, not quite able to get to step 2 of their chances, but either way, now you're going to have Bowling Green get the line change going. They're going to put Higgins back out there, which so far today, Higgins has been phenomenal on the special teams because he's been able to move so well down low and get up so quickly, as well as just be that almost extra attacker that the Orange and Brown need.
Puck cleared by Notre Dame off the draw. A minute 10 to go in the second period. Bowling Green with 3 minutes, 5 seconds to go on the major penalty to Cole Brown. He's off the ice. That's a second line left winger that Sutter Mazzati and Evan Warner are going to be missing. It's going to be an offsides against Bowling Green, and the puck's going to come out to center.
I mean, Higgins had possession of it, but I don't think that was exactly on him. It's just jumping a little bit off, trying to get a little excited, but you're seeing him out there with Morneau and Emerson with Ryman, and then you're going to put Crampton as well with Higgins on defense. So now you're going to have some very strong lines out here for the Orange and Brown. Coach Williams trying to capitalize on this chance.
Puck one back, Higgins forces it ahead, doesn't land to Emerson. Williams probably going to have some things to say to his guys in the locker room about this power play and how big this is and the complexion of the game as it's been. Morneau back to Crampton, the freshman defenseman working up, gives it to the freshman forward Morneau, and back to the senior forward Quinn Emerson. On the right wing side, Ryman back up to the blue line. Crampton gives it up, Higgins back to Crampton at the center at the blue line. Slaggert, he disrupts the puck. Ryman flips it down, back up to Ryman and up to the blue line Crampton. 15 seconds to go in the period. Higgins back up Crampton, shooting lane, shot, score! The tip in front! Crampton the shot in! And it's Quinn Emerson. His 4th point of the weekend, his 2nd goal, and the Falcons tie it in the final 15 seconds.
Never underestimate a screen in front, a defenseman and a goaltender's worst nightmare. As if correct me if I'm wrong, Ben, every Bowling Green goal has either been right in front of the crease, there's been a tip in, a rebound, some sort right in front. The shot there, just a harsh one from Crampton, and then the redirect by Emerson is able to tie it up with 2:08 on the Jumbotron, but as you well know too, there was also the major to get him ejected.
Man does not come out of the box, and the Falcons still on a power play. 11 seconds to go in the second. Likely they won't score in this period, but they have a lot to serve. Niedermeyer working in, a chance, another one into Kempf, and the buzzer goes off, or not the buzzer, the light sounds as it was in tight with Kempf. No signal given by the referee, not noticing where the Falcons. Puck was tied up and stalled for a second, but the period ends. The Falcons stop the bleeding with a Quinn Emerson power play goal just a second ago. We'll talk about that more in the Marta Crow second intermission report. You're listening to Falcon Hockey and a 2-2 tie here in the slate on WBGU 88.1 FM.
On August 28, 2025, BGSU football running back Cameron Petaway returned at kickoff 97 yards for a touchdown on the first play of the season against Lafayette. The second straight year the Falcons found pay dirt on the first play of the campaign. Falcon Media Sports Network Sean Connolly had the call of the moment on Falcon Radio.
Dumont kicks it away, and we are underway in the 2025 football season, and it will be returned. Like he's got an opening, and will we see it again? There he goes. He's at the 50. There he goes for the second straight year. He will be gone. 2 years in a row, Cameron Petaway. Touchdown Falcons. Unbelievable.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
For the second straight year, Falcon Media Sports Network is partnering with WBGU PBS to broadcast Falcon men's and women's soccer matches. Tune in to WBGU PBS YouTube's live streams to hear Lucas Kleinmeyer, Henry Costco, and other Falcon Media Sports Network talent on the call.
On January 31st, 2025, BGSU senior forward Jackson Niedermeyer scored a game-winning goal in overtime on the road against Northern Michigan, notching BG 2 points and securing Niedermeyer's first multi-point game as a Falcon. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak had the call on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Larson with the shot taken away by Bowling Green. This is Jackson Niedermeyer, takes it up the right wing, looking for a pass, now looking for a shot, he scores! Jackson Niedermeyer, the overtime winner with a buck left in overtime. And Bowling Green takes the much-needed extra point. What a wrist shot.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Falcons women's track and field heads west to South Bend, Indiana for the Mayo Invitational on Friday, January 30th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Holden Ruck will have a recap along with photos for the first day of the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
This is Falcon Media Sports Network hockey coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here in the Slater Family Ice Arena, a 2-2 tie after 2 periods of play. And Dan, it could have ended up a little bit worse than that for the Falcons, especially they were trailing 2-1 going into the final 15 seconds. But on that power play that was given to them, Cole Brown now ejected from the game, 5-minute major. They serve a minute left of it to start the third period, but that's big for them. That's a power play goal for Quinn Emerson that tied it up.
Absolutely, and you know, I very much well expected that we were going to see a bit of a similar situation as yesterday with the Orange and Brown being behind 2-1 heading into the third period, but you know, it looks like there were some other plans by Braden Crampton and Quinn Emerson for the period, and either way too, now that you had the momentum going, it really was partially built on that, and that was just kind of the final just stepper, if you will, to keep this one going. But also now that you have the intermission, you get to regroup and going back into it, you have to consider too, you mentioned that Cole Brown penalty, they're still going to have a guy in the box starting the third period for that, so Bowling Green will have the 5-on-4 advantage.
Almost a bit unfortunate as well that we have this break in between the periods because the Falcons did have some momentum, and even with 11 seconds on the clock, right off of that goal, took it right back into the offensive zone and generated a pretty solid chance. Again, the 3 members of that goal that just scored, Crampton, Higgins, and Quinn Emerson. We think Quinn Emerson got the goal. They list Braden Crampton as the goal right now. He had the initial shot in from the point. Higgins gave the puck to Crampton, and Emerson, we think, had the deflection. But it's a power play goal nonetheless, and a tie game. We kind of expected, and we kind of talked about, Dan, coming into the second period. It's been the most rough for the Falcons this season, still trailing in the season in goal differential, and that's the only period that they're able to say that they're trailing in. But going into this third period, adjustments that they have to make to be able to come out on top and to break what is now a tie game.
Exactly, but you also have to consider too what else is into the swing of things here for Notre Dame. You get that going against you, so you're going to be a bit more back against the wall, kind of like you were at the beginning of the first period, but Bowling Green, a team that has struggled so far this season in the second period, in the third period a bit as well, but seeing them, what they're going to bring out, and while the momentum's kind of being a little bit to a halt right now during this intermission, there's still plenty of hockey left to play, and you could only imagine what will be the result from it. I mean, Bowling Green so far as a team, they're starting off on the face-off behind Notre Dame, but it's very, very close. Notre Dame's got 19 to Bowling Green 17. And the penalties, too, it used to be against Bowling Green, but it has just been Notre Dame lately going into the sin bin, as you call it. They've got 7 so far this game as well. But, I mean, on top of that, too, you look at the shots on goal. That second period was phenomenal in terms of Notre Dame, what they needed for getting the shots on Steinman, too. I mean, you look at, they only had 4 in the first period, and now they're up to a whopping 31 so far in this game. So it's only going to continue onward. You're going to have to take it from there.
16 shots on goal total, 12 in that second period, 4 in the first period for Notre Dame. The Falcons did lead in shots on goal both periods with 13 apiece, but were definitely outshot by Notre Dame in that period outside of that power play toward the end. Again, we mentioned about a minute left on the power play that'll start the third period, and that's a big opportunity for the Falcons to jump out to a lead and hold on to that, because until that first goal scored by the Falcons, Minville, and then later on it was obviously taken back by Notre Dame, but until that goal, the Falcons had not led yet. They know how to play from behind. They've done it all weekend, trying to do that against Kempf and Notre Dame. Now, just the biggest keys that you think the Falcons are going to need, and then also Notre Dame coming into this third period with their best period play maybe of the weekend so far. What do you think Notre Dame's going to bring at the Falcons?
Well, yeah, let's start with Notre Dame on what they're going to bring. And, I mean, the exact thing they're going to have to bring is their momentum's going to be put to a halt because of this penalty. And really, that's going to just be the discipline factor, because they got to focus more now. Instead of protecting the league, they have to be worrying about falling behind, which you would not have expected, but just a huge goal at the end of that second period to get it through. So my keys mainly for Notre Dame is try to continue the shots as well as you can. You saw success when you did so. You're up to 16. You've attempted 31 total, so on average around 1 in every 2 going and connecting right on Steinman. But either way, going to just take it a little bit more. If Notre Dame's able to move the puck, that's going to be a main key, but also finally shooting it on Steinman is going to be another one. I mean, let's take a look at that just right now with how Steinman has been rolling along so far in this one. I mean, Steinman so far, you look at him, he's got 14 saves and he's got a .875 save percentage to back that up. And then on the Notre Dame side of goaltending, you look at Kempf, he's got 24 saves and a .923 save percentage. So on paper, it is Kempf who has had a better game, but really at the end of the day, it has been very even so far in terms of goaltending.
Bowling Green struck first period, 5 minutes in. Jeremy Minville, his third of the season, then 2 straight for the Irish in the second period, all within the first 6 minutes. Evan Werner on the power play, and then Sutter Mazzotti on a bit of a breakaway and an odd play there, and a squeaker against Steinman made it 2-1. And then in the waning moments of that second period, just about 10 seconds to go in it, Quinn Emerson with his 9th goal of the season, we're assuming right now, although the goal is given to Braden Crampton. I'd imagine that changed before the game end. He has the most recent goal, and it has tied the game up at 2-2. A couple of minutes left in our Marta Crow second intermission report before we head into the final 20 minutes of action. We've played to even through 5 periods and an overtime this weekend between Bowling Green and Notre Dame, and we drop puck in the third period coming up. You're listening to Falcon Hockey here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Women's Swim aims to end their 3-meet skid as they battle Toledo in a rivalry matchup at Cooper Pool on Friday, January 30th at 6 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Carter Leonard will have a recap with photos after the meet on bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU men's basketball guard Javante Campbell made a game-winning layup against Toledo with 1.6 seconds remaining on February 21st, 2025, giving BG their first win at Savage Arena since 2021. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz had the call of the shot on Falcon Radio.
It's
Campbell with the ball, driving inside. Layup's no good. Rebounded by Exact. The putback's no good. Johnson fights for it. It's kicked back out to Exact. Inside to Campbell. Campbell puts the layup. It goes with 1.6 seconds remaining. Javante Campbell with the huge shot, possible shot of the year for Bowling Green. They take the lead with 1.6 seconds remaining over Toledo, 69-68.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. On February 21st, 2025, BGSU men's basketball upset Toledo at Savage Arena for the first time since 2021, defeating the Rockets 69-68. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavlitz had the call of the game-winning moment on Falcon Radio.
Johnson inbounds to Campbell. They do not foul. Bowling Green marches into Savage Arena, exacts revenge on the Toledo Rockets, and gets a much-needed conference victory over their arch rivals, defeating Toledo 69-68. What an improbable win for the Bowling Green Falcons.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
On November 15th, 2024, BGSU hockey defeated St. Thomas in a shootout, courtesy of a game winner by defenseman Jack Blake. Falcon Media Sports Network's voice of Falcon hockey, Ben Korak, had the call of the moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And Jack Blake, for all the glory, trying to put this one away with the puck, taking it around, far side wheel, working in with the shot, and he fills it! Jack Blake with the shootout winner! First time in the lineup this season, and Jack Blake is the hero as Bowling Green mobs him.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics, only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Catch all of the action of BGSU Athletics right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU FM. Student play-by-play announcers broadcast all the sports you want to hear, including football, basketball, hockey, volleyball, and more. Don't miss a single game with coverage of BGSU Athletics from the Falcon Media Sports Network on WBGU FM and streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com.
Check out recaps of this and every BGSU hockey match online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here in the Slater Family Ice Arena, you just had the Marta Crow second intermission report. Apologize, Marta Crow, the late Marta Crow, the bride of Rick Crow, who has sponsored our BGSU hockey travel and is the reason we broadcast every BGSU hockey game this season and will commit to do so for the rest of the year as well. Ben Korak alongside Dan Ridenauer. For BGSU sports news and updates, go to bgfalconmedia.com and BG_FMSN on Twitter and BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook as well. The Falcons tied 2-2 with Notre Dame after a late period goal by Quinn Emerson and Braden Crampton. It's still up in the air on who's going to get credit for the goal. The live stats say Crampton. The ice says Quinn Emerson. We'll see how that ends up. But the goal is all that matters, and even the Falcons have about a minute and 56 seconds of power play to start this third period, and that power play will not remove Brendan Ali from the box because it's a major penalty that he's serving for Cole Brown on a game misconduct.
That's right, Ben, and also too on top of that, you look at Bowling Green right now and they're heading right back out there and looking for what else they have in store, and they're going to have that just similar. They're going to what works right now. I mean, you're going to put Morneau out there with Emerson and then Ryman as well as Higgins and Crampton to follow suit on the defense as they'll take it back.
Falcons looking to turn this into more goal scoring. They've already scored on the power play, so already successful, but they don't want to settle as Morneau, as he topples down to the ice, gets the puck away. Emerson forces it deeper to Crampton, who brings it back to the blue line on the opposite side. It's Morneau on the left wing blue line. The Falcons scoring on the right side of your radio dial in this third period. Higgins gives it up. Crampton gives it up. Slap shot. Ryman, feet in. The rebound chance from Morneau doesn't fall. Bowling Green goes for the puck again in the right wing corner. It's Ryman to prevent the clearing attempt from Notre Dame. That was a big chance and a big save by Kempf. Ryman with the puck. Crampton gives it up. Slap shot. Higgins, rebound chance again in Kempf. In tight. Ryman with the backside chance, and it's back up to the blue line again on the clearing. Here's Crampton, Higgins, and Kempf down in the crease. The whistle blows as both players could not get back up off the ice. Emerson is getting into it now. That looked like Danny Nelson. Danny Nelson came over, was talking to Quinn Emerson. Emerson and Nelson got tied up on the blue paint.
Nelson's been a troublemaker tonight, and he's getting into it with Emerson, who was down on the ice, but looks like he was going back to the bench with no helmet. But beyond that, what a start to the period for Bowling Green. Just the quick rush, the pressure they're given. Everybody but Crampton was crashing the net trying to get a goal there, and they fell short. But either way, there could be a potential penalty coming up, but it looks like they're taking Morneau instead.
Penalty only given to Morneau, which is surprising to me, and it'll make it even strength for 61 seconds, and then it'll be a 5-on-4 for Notre Dame. That pretty much wipes away the rest of the major penalty against the Irish and is a big break for them.
I'm not sure, honestly. We'll have to wait and see what the officials call for the Morneau penalty is, but I'm not sure if it had something to do with trying to crash the net on Kempf. It was something that was a little post-whistle, but either way, Coach Williams wants an explanation himself, so we'll have to see what the result of this is.
Roughing is the call against Morneau, but odd that you would give a roughing to the Falcon and not the Irish, depending on how it all played out. It looked pretty 50-50 to us, and the two parties really tangled up were Danny Nelson and Quinn Emerson. And Quinn Emerson is not serving a penalty, only Noah Morneau is. So he's in the box, bucket off. The Falcons with a 4-on-4 for 61 seconds and then 59 seconds of penalty kill. Face off, one back by Notre Dame, but Brett Foe will get there first down the left wing. He's got McKinley and Duran. Brett Foe off the side of the net. A good shot there by the senior. Foe again with the puck on the right wing side. Back up and outside the blue line. Niedermeyer will scamper back and grab the puck in the 4-on-4. 40 seconds left in even strength. McKinley from his own zone. He skates it up. A good skating defenseman is McKinley. Splits the defense. Wrist shot. Save made. Kempf with the left-handed glove. Good play by the defenseman to get open ice and a shot.
Sure was, and the close call there is Kempf was able to stand on that one, but a 4-on-4 for 29 seconds to go, and Bowling Green kind of looking to try to switch things up a bit. It looked like you got Dominic Ryman with Tyler Hodson and then Sternberg with Higgins on the defense. So you're playing that 4-on-4, and you're going to stick to the box that you know works so well. What's surprising me right now, Ben, they're putting Sternberg low and Higgins high when it's been Higgins who's been crashing the net so much as a defenseman in this game.
Sternberg toward the middle, high slot. Hodson, face-off win, it looks like. Puck 50-50. The Falcons couldn't hold it inside the blue line. 20 seconds to go on the power play, and you've got to worry about the unit that you have on when you go on the penalty kill in the next 15 seconds. With speed, left wing, Tyler Hodson, the transfer from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Held inside the blue line from Sternberg. Down to the right wing side. Hodson again gets a touch on the puck. 8 goals, 12 assists, 20 points. As coming out of the box is Brennan Ali. So 5-on-4 for the next 50 seconds for Notre Dame. They've killed off the penalty here in the third period, although that same penalty was scored on in the second period. A power play goal for Quinn Emerson, and the Falcons are tied up at 2. gives it up. Mazzotti, shot, save made. That was up high on the left shoulder of Steinman. Shot from Sutter Mazzotti, and is wrangled by the freshman goalie.
Part of that too, Danny Nelson really trying to set the screen, getting into it with Niedermeyer, but what I really highlighted in that was Steinman, who was able to get his shoulder up in time and able to block that puck away, and now you're going to get a draw to go. Notre Dame's on the power play, but it's only going to be for the next 36 seconds with 17:40 left in the third.
Face-off one, back to Paul Fisher. Fisher, the defenseman, slap shot Evan Werner. A blocking attempt from Grant, but the shot is fanned on, and it's cleared away accidentally by Notre Dame. They'll have to get back in their own zone. The Irish reset. The Falcons get a new set. Why not Duran, Sternberg, and Higgins? Paul Fisher splits the defense. Sternberg picks him up. Shot by Paul Fisher, shrugged away by Steinman. Taking a check high was Brandon Wynot. Danny Nelson, Duran to clear, and he gets it away. Noah Morneau out of the box. Back up to full strength and a 5-on-5. Notre Dame, Bowling Green knotted up at 2. 5 goals apiece this weekend. Working in down the right side, Jaden Davis. He's bumped by the Falcons, who turn the puck over in their own end. Niedermeyer up to Dominic Ryman on the left side. Ahead for Brody Waters. Down the right wing comes Morneau with speed. He got 2 minutes of rest and is back out on the ice playing, coming off of his roughing penalty in the defense of Quinn Emerson. Kempf has to stop the puck behind his own net. Bowling Green, Notre Dame will reset. 50-50 puck, tipped at center ice. Steinman will play it on an odd bounce off of the gate where the Zamboni comes out, south end of the slate. Up the left wing comes Minville. He skates long strides ahead down the left wing, the freshman behind the goal line. Hodson gets in tight with him, a little bit of a pick play. Sternberg down to the goal line again, right wing side, back up, Higgins working in, his shot, knocked down. Deflection was tried there by Jaden Grant offensively, and he knocked it maybe farther away from the cage. Here's Minville, good shot, but gloved by Kempf, and he'll hold on.
Grant just getting a few on him, but looks like here they'll just kind of subside. As it seems like for Notre Dame on that one, they really want to just start being pushy, start doing those things. There's just no energy there for them, but you look at how intense this period's already been, especially with Bowling Green. They start the period out crashing and then continuing onward with the penalties. As it's crazy to think we're just a little over 5 minutes through this period.
Knuble on the right side, misses a bump, gets the puck away, and he's going to end up turning it over to the Falcons, who skate back to the very negative side of their zone. Back up blue line after a turnover. The shot deflected over the head of Steinman. Back up, Mastro Domenico keeps it in. High slot, Knuble holds onto it for the blue and gold. The gold caps away to the right side. Danny Nelson, he's bumped into the boards. Pass over to Steinman, who sweeps his stick under it, chips it up in the air as Knuble's dropped down to the ice in the corner. So is Ty Higgins. Higgins battling for the puck. Knuble takes a couple of cross checks in the corner. Puck worked free. Duran away with Foe. Foe off the half wall to himself. Open ice now to work. Takes it up the left wing. Pass ahead to Adams Linka down the left wing. Newly in the lineup today. Backhands it into Kempf, who makes the save, but the Falcons in the O-zone now. 5 minutes expired in the third period. 2-2 the score. Up at the blue line. Fed in. Notre Dame takes it out. A turnover from the Falcons at their own blue line. BG chips it off the high glass. Mazzotti fans on the puck. Takes the check because of it. Sloan back out on the ice. And now he checks off. A quick shift for Sloan. Brody Waters picks the puck off on his own dot. Waters working in. Wrist shot on Kempf is blocked. Notre Dame, an outlet pass ahead to Slaggert. Doesn't land. Bowling Green forces it up. And the puck has some odd bounces and ends up in the crowd. 14-12 to play in the third period. 2-2 the score. Time for station identification.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Dan Ridenauer, myself, Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Noah Morneau against Jaden Davis in the faceoff. The linesman telling Jovanovic and Waters to stop, and they kept going at it. Waters took the face-off win. He kept the puck in the offensive zone on a clearing attempt. He and Dominic Ryman behind the net. Centering pass to the slot, and it's carried away by Niko Jovanovic. He uses his legs up to the right wing side. Jaden Davis, he works in tight. Good move there on Steinman, but he's able to shut it off. Just too in tight to make a great shot was Niko Jovanovic, and not known as a scorer either. Only 1 goal this season in 8 games played, and only 4 points in his 28 games played as a Fighting Irishman. Down the left wing, Brennan Ali. Down goal line, Lumber behind the net, so they're gonna not cycle the puck back there, or at least try not to. Knuble, high slot, good move Knuble, but he steered himself behind the goal line and couldn't get a shot off from negative angle. Right wing boards, 50-50 puck, BG clears it. Back first is Drew Mackey, the freshman defenseman. An Anchorage, Alaska native is Drew Mackey. Scored his first and only career point at Michigan on January 9th of this season. Has not scored this weekend, obviously still sitting at 1 point. Down the right wing, Mazzotti, Sutter Mazzotti, picked the pocket of the Falcons. He works in, good defense there by Brett Foe to steer Mazzotti behind the goal line. Mazzotti falls over Foe, the whistle blows, and the puck was maybe covered up.
I'm confused by that myself, Ben. I mean, it looked like for a second Steinman had it, then I thought I saw it behind the net, but as the rule goes, if the official loses sight of the puck, it is going to result in a whistle, but credit to Foe there. Mazzotti trying to get the rush in, but then you see the opportunity just robbed from him as you take another look at it, and then just Foe able to find the swing of it.
12:40 to go in the third period, 2-2 the score. Yesterday's game, a tie finish 3-3 in Notre Dame, Indiana, technically South Bend, and that ended up in a shootout victory for the Falcons, although a tie on the score sheet. Here's Ivan Korodiak, his shot in, missed wide right. He's taken a couple of shots today, Korodiak has, not known as an offensive defenseman, but certainly has done some good things today. He circles his own net, a drop pass back to Stjernberg. Bowling Green's bench really not happy about an apparent missed call that I might have missed. Dan, did you see anything there? Oh, no, it is going to be a delayed penalty.
It sure will.
Steinman over to the bench.
That's what matters, as Niedermayer's just holding on to it and not wanting to, rush this. There's no point to either. Now's the time to kind of make sure Notre Dame doesn't touch it as, well.
Yeah, they turned the puck over in neutral ice anyway after waiting quite a bit. But they still made the right play, and under 12 to go in the third period, Bowling Green's going to go back onto a power play, sporting 0 for 3 on man advantages. That does not count the 5-minute major. It's Sutter Mazzotti that's going to go to the box. I believe that's his second penalty of the game.
And they're going to give it just for the unnecessary hit on Brett Foe, as he had, no possession, nobody on him, and just an unwarranted hit, as now the Orange and Brown will have the power play here for the next 2 minutes. 25 shots on net so far. Let's see what number 26 holds for BG.
Frankly, a foolish penalty by a veteran player, and maybe the best player on the team, arguably. Such a dynamic player with how large he is, the defense that he plays, his skating ability. Up to the blue line, Crampton holds it in, slap shot, Higgins, save made, Kempf with the stick. Crampton to hold the puck in the blue line. He has it, looking for a shooting lane, gets it to Ryman. Ryman, goal line, backhand chance, Morneau, clean up act. Kempf dies on the puck. Just 30 seconds expired in the power play and 1 shot on goal.
More pushing and shoving to ensue, as Kempf, though, being the veteran that he is, able to just step on top of that, and really part of the consideration and a head for it on Nicholas Kempf. But either way, the pushing and shoving continues. You see the puck just goes, and then it's trying to roll in. And another play, Higgins playing real physical tonight, really trying to crash the net and pinching heavily. It's going to be interesting to see what head coach Dennis Williams has to say about the defenseman.
Already 32 saves for Nicholas Kempf. That's his 13th game of 30-plus saves He's had 4 more games than that of 27 plus, including a game yesterday. So he's had a lot of games where he's been tested this season. Has stood pretty tall today. Has only allowed 2 so far. Falcons still on a power play for the next minute 20. Slot chance for Quinn Emerson. His stick is tied up. Falcons still with it. Morneau a chance. Save made by Kempf, and he holds on. 2-2 the score. 11 minutes to go in the third period. 1:15 to go in the power play.
More to go at it as there's just a lot more shoving to continue onward, but there's currently 1:17 remaining in the Bowling Green power play. They got 25 shots on net so far, and there's 11:04 left in the third period. It looks like here, just as the lineup, they're going to put Higgins down low, almost as if he was a winger, and put Braden Crampton on the blue line by himself.
Up to Crampton to the right side. Dominic Ryman back to the freshman defenseman Crampton. Fakes a one-timer. Ryman, he looks back out to Crampton, now moves it in deep. Morneau, Emerson battling for the puck. Morneau is wrecked right next to Kempf. He is really taken down. Morneau not too happy with the Swede, Axel Kumlin. But he's not going to instigate anything, as it's still 1:04 power play if the Falcons are able to stay out of the box.
Exactly, and this crowd, not a bunch of happy campers, but yeah, just Kumlin gets his arm, wraps it around Morneau, and throws him down. Grabbed him by the neck almost. There's no call here, but either way, it's just been a trend that we're seeing in this game, Ben. The referees not liking to call a lot unless their hand is forced.
Sutter Mazzotti still in the box. He's a good penalty killer. Notre Dame's killed penalties pretty solid this weekend. The Falcons on their 4th power play. Morneau in for the draw. And jumping early was number 11, Danny Nelson. So Morneau will drop puck again. Trying to win a draw, but it goes back down to Notre Dame and they clear it. So 60 seconds exactly to go in the power play for the Falcons. It's tied 2-2, a big chance for Bowling Green here. Last half of this man advantage. Crampton gains the entry, and that's what Notre Dame wanted. Clearly didn't really defend him as he came in. Bowling Green holds the puck inside the blue line. Mastro Domenico, open ice to the right side. Knuble to clear, and they're able to do so. Smart for Notre Dame to let Crampton take the puck in, as he was immediately bullied inside the blue line and pretty much pressed. Bad turnover there for the Falcons, and now they get the puck back. It's Hodson. McKinley, a rare turnover there on his own blue line. Hodson sweeps it in. Kumlin comes up with the puck, lifts it up high and ices it down. 10 seconds to go on the power play before Mazzotti comes out of the box. Falcons cycling, moving quick, up past his own blue line. McKinley through center ice and now into the offensive zone. McKinley down the left side. Mazzotti out of the box. Now in the play. Falcons with the puck. Back out in front. Duran to clean it. Kempf gets tossed to the ground as he was diving on the puck. Tyler Hodson went in for a diving play on it. But the goaltender for Notre Dame has still added to a fantastic resume today. 36 saves, 2 goals allowed, and a .950 save percentage. An unbelievable effort he put on, especially in that power play there, Dan.
Exactly, too, and you look at how that was for Bowling Green and the chances they had just falling a tad short, but just a defensive standpoint for Notre Dame that's going to be able to take them back away for that one. And then also, too, on top of that, Tyler Hodson's still trying to get a call going. I mean, him and Morneau taken out of the play, not even having any sort of possession, getting knocked down on that one, and really, too, having no back-to-back calls. It's going to be frustrating for Bowling Green to try to overcome.
This timeout brought to you by Juniper Brewing Company, located at 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green. Visit their website, juniperbrew.com. 2-2 the tie. Successful penalty kill for Notre Dame. Falcon hockey here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Media Sports Network produces more feature stories about BGSU athletics than any other media outlet. Make sure to head over to bgfalconmedia.com and follow Falcon Media Sports Network at BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook to stay up to date with all of our content.
BGSU women's swim and dive take on rival Toledo Saturday, January 31st at 9:30 a.m. at Toledo's Student Recreation Center. The Falcons are looking for their first win versus the rival Rockets since 2022. Check out the recap from Falcon Media Sports Network's Carter Leonard, along with photos and other content on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon Hockey on the radio at 88.1 FM and streaming online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Notre Dame successful penalty kills today. They've held the Falcons off the board on 4 power plays that do not include a 5-minute major to Cole Brown, who is now off the ice. Bowling Green with the puck on the left wing dot. They lose it. It's cleared out into the neutral zone by Notre Dame. Tied 2-2. 9:10 to go in the third period. We played even through 65 minutes yesterday through overtime and regulation, and we're looking like we might do the same today. A lead pass up to Mazzato doesn't land, and it's going to come back down to the Notre Dame end on an icing.
Would not be surprised if that's the case here, where you have to play a little bit more action, but either way, this is a situation for Bowling Green where they're really trying to connect here, but something else on top of that I'm noticing, they're putting Niedermeyer out with Higgins on the defense. Then you get Foe, Morneau moving along with it. So you're just going to have to wait and see, especially if they're going to put Higgins low like he's been playing all day.
Quick shot after a face-off win. Morneau tries to take Mazzotti into the boards, but that's a battle he's probably not going to win most time in the physicality play. He gains the position there. He looks for a pass. Morneau down the right side, goal line. He's knocked down to the ice. Emerson in tight with Kempf. Another sprawling save made by Kempf, who doesn't cover it up this time. Notre Dame does everything in their power to clear, and now they have to go for a change. BG back in their own end. Higgins and Niedermeyer force the puck up. Now have to play defense after a turnover. Knuble high slot, makes a man miss. Shot in, just missed wide right. Big shot there by Knuble, who beat Steinman and just missed the net. Another good shot. That one from Mastro Domenico. Back down to the Notre Dame end. Bowling Green will get a defensive pairing. Here's McKinley. Crampton will be the only one back defending. Emerson. Henry Nelson gets the puck peeled away. Mastro Domenico keeps it in the offensive zone. Minville will get there on the left wing side, and he'll push it out to Jaden Grant, to Hodson, and Hodson rinks it in. Going back and forth now, past halfway in the third period. Puck up the ice, Knuble gives it away to Jaden Davis. Davis gets 2-man checked by the Falcons. Sloan gets knocked down with the puck at his feet by Pano Femus. Femus, third line centerman yesterday, fourth line centerman today, switched places with Jaden Davis, who now plays with Slaggert and Oliver. That's a line that stayed together for the entirety of 2026. Just now has switched up, going from yesterday's game to today. Why not with the puck at his feet? Couldn't hold on to it. He lost it in his own zone. Jaden Davis behind the goal line, pressed up by Stjernberg. In tight with Steinman, colliding there is Dashel Oliver, and with the freshman goaltender. And now the Falcons take it up. Sloan has to dump. The Falcons have to change. The Irish with 7 minutes to play in the third, trying to get their 6th win of the season and 2nd win on the road. Bowling Green looking for their 15th win of the season, and a big one, their 2nd against Big Ten play this season as we have a stoppage.
Looking forward to what else is in store as well. And I mean, you bring about that idea of Bowling Green and the home crowd and what they're looking for, but Notre Dame, who has been a team that struggled on the road this season, you're looking for what else is new for Bowling Green here. And you talk about the Slater Family Ice Arena and how intimidating it is to play. Bowling Green has only lost 3 games here. One of those games ended up going to overtime. Will we see the second one here tonight?
Slap shot from Crampton doesn't find its way through. Right now he's given credit for a goal. That one with 19 minutes, 51 seconds expired in the third period. We think that Quinn Emerson was given credit for it, and so did Quinn. He led the line back, certainly had the screen in front, but whether or not he got the tip is up to probably post-game information. But Crampton, Higgins, and Emerson, no matter the combination, will combine for what is now the game-tying goal in a 2-2 tie with 6:40 to go in the third period. Mazzotti pushes it in. Falcons chase. It's Stjernberg. His puck goes into the Falcon bench.
Little wide right of a clear there for Goose, but either way, you're getting him and Karodiak out, which is a solid line, especially since Bowling Green kind of looking to get a little bit more physical at this time, as opposed to a guy like Higgins, who is going to be moving his feet as more going in, using just the speed aspect of things. But this is going to be a Bowling Green team right now that's putting Karodiak almost as a right winger. Either team has yet to put a defenseman into the corner, and Bowling Green continuing their trend. They're going to have Emerson and Stjernberg almost making a triangle going into that one with Foe.
Held inside the blue line nicely by Knubel, that reached up with both hands as if he was blocking a volleyball. He held the puck in momentarily, and then it's finally cleared down by Bowling Green, who got the loose puck. It is going to be an icing against the Falcons. It'll come back down and we'll drop puck again.
We'll be in the same spot we just were. This time a few seconds are shaved from the time, so we'll have to wait and see what else is in store for us, as Bowling Green looking to take the same setup they had. Foe at the top of the triangle with Emerson and then Stjernberg as the base, and they're going to have Morneau to take the draw. A little bit of 11-on-11 hockey as Morneau faces off against Danny Nelson.
One back by Nelson. Blue line, Master Domenico. Open ice for Cole Knubel. He works in. Shot. Oh my gosh, what a shot, and he missed wide right. Beat Steinman again, Knubel had. He's taken a lot of shots today, and he hasn't found a goal yet. Did find a goal yesterday on a power play. Here's a wrist shot. Save made Steinman as it was in on his elbow, and he made the stick save.
Slashing coming up here, Ben, which looks to be against the orange and brown. Jaden Grant getting the slashing call here. Is not sure where they're finding that from, if it happened beyond the play, but the crowd not too pleased with this and going to force the orange and brown with the winding moments of the third period back onto the penalty kill.
5 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the third. There's never a good time for a penalty, but you would imagine, Dan, that this is maybe one of the poorer times for a penalty in a tie game.
Rightfully so, too. And I mean, just taking a look at that, and they're going to look and they're going to give that on Grant, who's going on the far side of where we're sitting on the press box here at the slate, going far and then out, barely knocked the stick of Nelson out of his hand, and they'll give him a slash for that.
Fisher the shot in, and it's cleared away by the Falcons. Sutter Mazzotti blew a tire as he was trying to clean up a rebound, and he'll have to come back on sides. Notre Dame takes the puck up. 1 for 3 on power plays so far, not including this one. They'll try it again here. Working it down the right wing, blowing a tire. Niedermeyer in the corner, the clearing attempt held in by Paul Fisher. Fisher on the right wing blue line, gives it up to his winger. Here's Niedermeyer to Knubel. Knubel away to Mazzotti. The pass right in front to Danny Nelson, who was unguarded in front of Steinman and is luckily picked off by the Falcons and cleared. Down the left wing comes the alternate captain, Paul Fisher, weaving, looking to disc it out to the right wing side to Evan Werner as Fisher takes a big check. Karodiak, he clears. The Falcons go for a change. Notre Dame, their top line of power play unit, has just been wasted. We've got 55 seconds to go on a power play and the second unit out. Down the left wing comes Femus to his defenseman, Kumlin. Back up to the top, Kumlin. Slap shot, Brendan Ali gave it to him. He let it ride, and Steinman shuts it off.
Good one there for Steinman to be able to get a hold of, as now you're near the second half of this penalty. What you're really thinking if you're Bowling Green is just similar clears. I mean, Stjernberg, who cleared up moments ago, is also making sure that Steinman doesn't get screened by him, and then also, too, trying to keep that one out as you're seeing Davis trying to creep in and to the crease of Steinman, but Stjernberg to keep him out.
4:30 to go in the third, 40 seconds to go in the power play. The Swede Kumlin pokes it down. Wrapped around by Jaden Davis. It's now up on the right side of the blue line. Kumlin gets it away, and now it's back to him. D-to-D pass to Henry Nelson. Back to Kumlin in the middle of the blue line. To the right wing side, Femus, he looks in. He misses his shot. Henry Nelson, oh, what a shot, Henry Nelson. Pushed into the rack by Sternberg, was one of the Irish. Steinman made a heck of a save there on a big rip from Nelson toward the goal line. And I believe the puck stayed out.
Seems to be so, as the first shot goes wide and then just right on the right pad of Steinman and Sternberg.
Jaden Davis was taken out of the play by Sternberg into the post.
Quick action by the referee to avoid conflict, as almost saw another fight with Sternberg but got in the way before anything could happen. But now you're going to have that four of Duran, Emerson with Higgins and Sternberg. You got four very strong players right now for Bowling Green. Now would be the time to clear it out and then get that fifth man. If either Grant goes back out onto the ice, but more likely he's going to change right back out and get a fifth man with fresh legs.
Sternberg off the glass, up, and he clears it down. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Looking right now like a successful penalty kill for the Falcons. Notre Dame 1 for 4 on the power play today. Same mark as they had yesterday. Weaving through, working in. Knuble the shot on Steinman, makes a save way out of the crease. Up to Grant, who tips the puck. Bowling Green gets a couple of men to change. Grant immediately in on a forecheck as he had the puck by his feet out of the box, and that made the decision to go to the bench for him. He's still in play with Crampton and McKinley back in the Bowling Green end. 3:30 to go in the third. The biggest penalty kill of the series for the Falcons, and it keeps it a tie game at 2-2. Niedermeyer holds inside the blue line on the right side of the offensive zone. Puck caroms high in the air. Duran to the left side, fired in by Crampton. Rinked around to the right wing. To peel it off is Waters. Waters a wrist shot. Save made. Kempf. He drops it down on his knees, and then he covers it up with his trapper.
Sure does, as Kemp's just able to step in there and get this play going. I mean, looking at him so far today, the impact he's been able to make. 39 saves, led in 2 goals. He's got a .951 save percentage so far today, as now you're heading into 3 minutes left in the third period. Either team yet to score so far, as Notre Dame still trying to apply the pressure as a team. It's just difficult to do so. They got 9 shots on goal to Bowling Green's 15 so far in the third.
Bowling Green's current 41 shots is the most that they've had in a game since January 9th at Fair State. That was a big win for Bowling Green in Big Rapids. Defended by Higgins was Evan Werner. He has the puck poked away, and that's a veteran defensive play by the rookie. 2:45 to go in the third period, tied up. Falcons leading huge in shots on goal. They've dominated the first. They have pretty close to dominated the third, and that second period going to be the bane for them. Waters down the right wing, defended by 2 Irish. They come away with the puck. Master Domenico pushes it ahead, slaggered off the half wall. Thanks for Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer gets open ice. The Falcons looking to break it out. Emerson down the right wing. He's defended by Henry Nelson. He fires it in across the slot, and now the Irish come the other way. Pass up right side, Dashiell Oliver working in, goal line. He wraps it around. Nelson the shot, save made, Steinman. Big one on the right post. The 2-minute warning in the third period. 2-2, the tie.
Sure is, and Steinman there just really making his mark as to keeping Bowling Green in this game. As you see, just a quick release, the shot coming in from Henry Nelson, is that one just falling a bit close, but still, when you have a defenseman like that just pinch right in, you know that's going to be a little intimidating, but Steinman nonetheless is going to keep it out of the net.
Bowling Green in for the draw. Jaden Grant gets kicked out. Tyler Hodson, the junior transfer, will step in. One back for Notre Dame. Henry Nelson, another shot. Missed wide right. Steinman let it fly and let the carom come back out to the blue line. Hodson battling for the puck in the corner with fellow number 24, Dashiell Oliver. And the half wall, Femus battling for the puck. Hodson still working in there. He's progressed so much this season. Early on in the season, just an offensive guy, and he's done the dirty work a lot. for Willie and the Falcons as the months and the games and the series have waned. And he's adopted more of a Bowling Green brand of hockey that they were probably hoping that he would when they brought him in. Right wing Minville reaches out with his stick, pokes it ahead into neutral ice. We're going to get a face-off in center ice as a puck touched somebody on the Bowling Green bench. 1:15 to go in the third. It's crunch time for both of these teams, and possession, I'm sure, is going to get highly important for both head coach Dennis Williams and head coach of Notre Dame, Brock Sheehan.
Sure will, and we'll see what else can be the result, as now you're going to have an opportunity ahead. Nelson versus Duran and Bowling Green to win the draw.
McKinley to Ryman, who was offsides, now back on sides of the Falcons. Notre Dame up. Higgins almost a high sticking, didn't make connection with the puck, luckily enough. Notre Dame with it, south of the goal line. Kokonubel trying to make things happen. Up to the right wing side, Dominic Ryman with the puck, back in his own zone. Duran with it as well in his own zone, and he lifts it out to center. It's not going to be an icing against the Falcons, who get 4 men a change. Brody Waters, that odd man left out. He'll go right to the bench. Down the right wing comes Knubel. Long shift for him. Dances on the slot, lifted out to center. Back skating is Jaden Kerr. He'll send it down Bowling Green end. They have possession with 30 to go in the third. 2-2 the tie. 3 goals coming in the second period. Bowling Green with 1 in the first. Okay, do we see overtime again in this series? Niedermeyer at center ice. Bumped by Notre Dame. On the Bowling Green logo, Stjernberg slowly ahead to Grant on the forecheck. 5 seconds to go in the third period. 2-2. Notre Dame forces it ahead. Turnover center ice. Slager dumps it in. No Irish to chase. Back-to-back nights. 60 minutes of play and a tie game. We're heading to 3-on-3, 5-minute overtime. The break between brought to you by Juniper Brewing Company, located at 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green. Visit their website at juniperbrew.com. Falcon hockey here with a 2-2 tie in Notre Dame, and the winner coming up. You're listening to Falcon hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Media Sports Network now has a pregame and postgame show, along with intermission reports for every BGSU hockey broadcast, starting 25 minutes before each game. Make sure to tune in to hear insights and knowledge from Falcon Media Sports Network analysts. You can listen to every broadcast on WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for Falcon hockey. Also streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon women's basketball heads north up I-75 to Savage Arena for the first round of the Battle of I-75 against Toledo on Saturday, January 31st. Falcon Media Sports Network's Kevin Hutchinson and Carter Leonard will have a pregame show at 4:35 p.m. before Lucas Kleinmeyer and Adam Duffin call the game at 5 p.m. Tune into all the action on WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for BGSU women's basketball.
Check out more Falcon athletic coverage on X at BG_FMSN.
3-on-3 for 5 minutes in overtime. This was not scored on yesterday in South Bend, Indiana. Notre Dame hosted the first game of this series. We went 65 minutes, that including the overtime tie game. Although yesterday, Dan, Notre Dame did dominate that 3-on-3. They had possession from about the 3-minute mark toward the end, and Bowling Green couldn't get it back. That's going to be a big focus for the Falcons in this 3-on-3, is just holding on to the puck.
Sure will be, and that's just what really comes down to any overtime is the possession and just the match of it. And now, especially when you look at a situation like a 3-on-3, that gives you so much more ice to work with, so much more opportunities and just breathing room, as opposed to what you'd have in a 5-on-5.
Niedermeyer after a face-off win for Bowling Green. Ben Duran, Dominic Ryman, and Jackson Niedermeyer, the 3 for the Falcons. And it's Danny Nelson, Cole Knubel, and Axel Kumlin, the 3 for Notre Dame, along with the goaltenders, Jacob Steinman, Nicholas Kempf. Bowling Green works in. Dom Ryman, he gets tripped up as he was streaking. He pushes it back into his own end for the Falcons to go chase. Niedermeyer with it. Ryman off, Emerson on. The rest of the 5 on the ice remain the same besides Quinn Emerson, and they're ensuring that Notre Dame can't get a change. Now Stjernberg out. Emerson with the puck. Blue line. The Goose with him. Right wing Emerson. He circles back, takes it out the blue line. Stjernberg and Morneau. The Falcons making Notre Dame really skate on this 3-on-3. Morneau with the puck. He leaves it back to Emerson, who takes it out the blue line. Notre Dame can't get a change. They got the long one now. Knuble on the forecheck. Here's Morneau at the blue line. Looks to give it up. No, he doesn't. Now he looks for a shot. He's high slot. Gives it up to Tyler Hodson. Hodson newly on the ice with Gustav Stjernberg, with Noah Morneau. Morneau goes over to the bench. Hodson takes it inside the blue line, up the left wing. Notre Dame desperately needs the puck back. 3:30 to go in the 3-on-3 5-minute overtime. Bowling Green turns the puck over. Henry Nelson turns it back over to Hodson. They're skating real tired, the Irish are. Bowling Green with short change on this overtime. Ty Higgins working in. Grant with a chance. He pushes it off the cage. Danny Nelson to try and clear. Bowling Green, big forecheck coming from Jaden Grant. And Notre Dame will hold it behind their net. They'll get Evan Werner on, but the Falcons turn it over as Jaden Grant, skating brutally tired, was Kumlin who turned it over. Evan Werner, he takes it up. Right wing to Mazzatti, to Werner. Werner the shot, save made! What a good one from Steinman. The puck trickles free, and we're gonna get a stoppage, I believe, before the cleanup try from Mazzatti.
The thing is, Ben, the referee lost sight of the puck, and that's what he's explaining right there, that he's taking it to Werner, and Notre Dame really thought they had the opportunity, and they did. They had the 2-on-1, but Steinman was able to stand tall, and the whistle was blown before it went free of Steinman and went into the net. So this is going to be one we look back on a what could have been situation, if you will, but either way, the referees must get paid by the hour, because we will continue onward.
Back behind his net, the Falcons with the puck. Mazzatti and Werner and Paul Fisher. That's a big unit. Now down the right wing comes Bowling Green, working in, shot, rebound chance. Kempf able to hold it out. Dom Ryman pokes it ahead, back to the blue line. Duran, Ryman, and Stjernberg out for the Falcons. Big rush. 2.5 to go. The Goose with the puck, down goal line, wraps it in front to Ryman, doesn't land. That was a good pass from the junior defenseman. Stjernberg with the puck, wrist shot, glove save. Kemp will drop puck again in the O-zone for Bowling Green. 2:20 to go in the overtime.
Good save there just for Kemp on Stjernberg, which would have been kind of a almost ironic ending if Stjernberg would have been able to connect on that, but him and Duran really been moving the puck well for Bowling Green, kind of as a tandem, but either way, we're going to completely clean house here for not just Notre Dame, but Bowling Green as well. Quinn Emerson, Noah Morneau, and then Braden Crampton out high on the blue line.
Face off, tumbling is Henry Nelson, working in Emerson, Morneau to clean it up. Kempf has to cover it up again. Henry Nelson got the puck on the boards in the left corner and blew a tire, lost it, and the Falcons had a big chance.
No matter the result of this game, Ben, we can look back and just certainly state that this was all goaltending. It has been Kempf and Steinman all day, and it has just been the goaltending throughout that's been keeping both these teams in it.
Morneau wins it back. Crampton circles outside of the O-zone. Bowling Green with the puck. They have dominated puck possession in this 3-on-3. Turnover down the left wing. Jaden Davis working in, gives it up. Brennan Ali looks for a pass. He got it to the slot, and now the Falcons come the other way. The pass didn't connect from Davis to Ali. Bowling Green at their own blue line. Tripped up and falling down was the Falcon, but got the puck away. Morneau back to his skating defenseman Emerson. Crampton up. The Falcons get a change. Grant and Crampton and Foe. Grant down the right wing. 1:30 to go in overtime. Held in by Crampton at the blue line. He's defended by Nelson. To Foe. To Crampton at the blue line. Foe with him. So is Grant, and the Falcons circle out of the zone. 1:20 to go in overtime. A 2-2 tie through 60 minutes, and we got the 5 here. Foe down the right wing with speed, working in. Brett Foe pokes it ahead. The net comes off. No signal from the referee. He's got the hand in the air. No signal on the goal. Kempf was pushed into the net. The net comes off. The Falcon is down. Chaos here in the slate. Brett Foe seemingly injured as he skates in a haunch position over to the bench. Kempf looks to be okay. Notre Dame just lucked out. Brennan Ali is going to go to the box.
So, Ben, Foe just nailed his side right into that post, and it's going to be a rough one to get over, but he got tripped up in just his side where, when you put on your shoulder pads, there's almost nothing right there just on your side, a little bit of a lack of protection thereof. So he basically just full force hit his skin right into that metal board, and that contact is definitely going to have to hurt. But either way, for the rest of the overtime, Bowling Green will have the man advantage, playing 4-on-3, and it looks like they're doing some discussion here.
They're reviewing it right now. I mean, I would be willing to lay money that that's broken ribs for Brett Foe. I mean, he took it right on the ribs, or if not in the kidney. He wrapped himself around that pole.
I mean, there's no padding there at all to have the support right on the side, which makes it that much more scary. But I mean, Bowling Green too, this just the play cutting short and almost getting a goal like Notre Dame saw earlier. But that's a rough one for Brett Foe. And now you're thinking, obviously you got to get through tonight, you got to get through the weekend, rest up Sunday, and then looking to next week. Do you have Brett Foe going into the month of February? After that, that's just a tough play to take and a difficult one. We're hoping he's okay. We're hoping, obviously, that there is minimal injury, but it's definitely difficult when you take just almost your ribs right to the board.
So they were reviewing for a goal, and the net was off before the shot from Niedermeyer, so that was just a cursory look to make sure they didn't miss anything. Brennan Ali for tripping Foe is in the box for 2, and the Falcons with a 4-on-3. A power play for the next minute 12, and that's because there's only a minute 12 left in the overtime. So Foe pretty much out of commission. And the Falcons with 4 skaters. Face off, one back for Notre Dame. They're able to ice it, and they do. A minute gonna be left when the Falcons touch up this puck. Crampton, Higgins, Ryman, and Emerson out for the Falcons. Working in, Higgins down the left wing, gains the entry with the puck. Back up, blue line, still have time to the Falcons, 50 seconds to go in the overtime. The golden goal, a score wins it. Higgins, high slot, gives it up, slap shot, Kempf makes a save. No rebound from the junior goaltender.
Bowling Green getting awfully close here, Ben. They only got 44.6 seconds to do so with a minute 32 remaining on the power play, but looks like here the Fighting Irish will clear house they'll only change one, Mazzotti, to go out, and then they'll get another, putting Crampton at the blue line and then running 3 forwards. Just going to have Higgins crash the net with Ryman, have Emerson up for the support on the rebound.
Everybody but Higgins and Crampton in the corner battling for the puck. Notre Dame continuing to pin it up. 30 seconds to go in overtime. Buck up out to the blue line. Here's Crampton. Crampton at the blue line. He looks in down the left wing. Crampton working in. Shot. Oh, just missed wide right. Big shot there by the defenseman. 20 seconds to go in overtime. The Falcons back in their own end gathering the puck. 15 seconds to go in overtime. Taking it up through neutral ice. A little bit of urgency is what they need, but skating tired. Higgins into the corner. He's bumped away by Jaden Kerr. Morneau touches the puck. 5 seconds to go. Works in. Hodson. He makes a move. Shot on. Kempf pokes it away. Standing tall through the power play in overtime. And we have shootout for the second night in a row between Bowling Green and the Irish.
Crampton had daylight right at the line, chooses to hold on to it and wait. Goes to the left side, then gets covered. That's a time where you just have to rush it. You can't be waiting. That's really what killed Bowling Green. The very first half of that overtime, they had all the momentum, they had all the rush. I would say if Bowling Green has the power play and played like they did at the very first minute of that overtime, you're going to find the back of the net. It was just too slow. It was just too sluggish for Bowling Green. And you can't blame them. This weekend series has been a juggernaut and a tough go, but now it's going to rely to the 2 that it has all weekend. It's going to be Jacob Steinman going against Nicholas Kempf.
130 minutes played between these 2 teams in the weekend series, and we're knotted up through all 130 of them. 3-3 last night in 65, and 2-2 tonight. through 65. We have shootouts again. Yesterday, it only took 3 rounds. Morneau scored on the first try, and no scores in the 5 tries after that. Both Cole Moore and Kempf stood tall. But Kempf just the one mistake on the first one. It was Morneau and Waters, the biggest 2 takers. Waters with a good move that beat Kempf, and then he didn't get a shot. He missed it. And again, Brendan Ali will not be able to take a face-off because he's sitting in the box, still serving out a penalty.
Well, we'll wait and see what comes next as they're clearing the ice just a bit for both these teams. And it's going to come down to Kempf and Steinman once more. And we'll see the order that both these teams bring out, but presumably it'll be the same as yesterday. But, you know, you're going to count on guys like Morneau, who is going to get one up ahead. But, I mean, Ben, what else are you seeing here? Is Bowling Green going to be the first team to go? Are they going to be the second? Or what else is kind of through your observation?
The Falcons were the first team to go yesterday, and it played to their advantage because they put all the pressure on Notre Dame, but it does make your goaltender have to make the last stop, which is unfortunately, actually fortunately, it's going to go the other way. Notre Dame has to lead off, and Jacob Steinman in net. Steinman against Sutter Mazzotti. Mazzotti the leading scorer, 24 points coming into the game. Steinman steps out, Mazzotti works in, save made, Steinman. Mazzotti with a simple move just tried to beat him under the right wing, and Steinman made the save.
There's a happy medium on the shootout, Ben, where you have to deke a little bit, you have to shoot, and Mazzotti did not find it, just tried to shoot, didn't make much of a move, and here comes Noah Morneau.
With the Slade on its feet, the left-handed shot working down the right wing. Had the only make yesterday. He works in, his shot wide left. A nice shot, and again beat Kempf. But he didn't put it on the rack.
He had him, just really, the accuracy was not there for him, and we'll get right back for it now. Evan Werner going to be the next man up.
The second highest scoring player for Notre Dame, 22 points this season. A skillful player. He works down the right wing, right-handed shot, tries to beat Steinman. He shrugs it aside. The freshman standing tall.
Acting nonchalant about it, and Steinman really been that key player for Bowling Green tonight.
Dom Ryman out to put pressure on the next go for Notre Dame. We're in the second round. No makes yet. Ryman another left-handed shot. He picks the puck off of the center dot, takes it up the left wing. Ryman working in on Kempf. His shot missed wide left. Another simple move. Another one that might have beat Kempf, but he missed the cage. And now it's going to come down to the final round, if not more. Paul Fisher, a defenseman, a junior defenseman, the alternate captain, a well-scoring defenseman. He takes it up the left wing. Another left-handed shot, working in on Steinman. His shot, save made! Jacob Steinman. The Falcon goaltenders, 6 for 6 on shootouts this weekend, and Jack Blake will step out. The shootout winner against St. Thomas last season. He will step out and take it now. Extra skating is Jack Blake. Don't know if he took a shift today. He takes it up the left wing. Jack Blake works in. He takes a shot. Oh, a save made. How cool would that have been for JB to come away with the shootout goal there?
Would have been insane. I say just an inch and a half, 2 inches a little higher, and that finds the back of the net. He almost had him in the first shot by Bowling Green today, right on Kempf in the shootout.
Cole Knuble takes it for Notre Dame now. Working in towards Steinman, through the slot with speed. Save made, Steinman! 7 for 7, our Falcon goaltenders through these 2 days. The Falcons can end it here, and they send out Jaden Grant. A home Warriors, Jaden Grant, loves scoring his home. 6 of his 8 goals scored this season on home ice. Up the left wing comes number 28, the senior alternate captain, working in, left side, still making a move. His shot, save made, Kempf, and he kicks it away with a stick confidently.
What a shootout this has been. It's just been a juggernaut between the two goaltenders. everybody on their feet. And, I mean, beyond that, this has just been what this whole weekend has come down to in goaltending with Kempf and then Moore and now Steinman.
The 5th round, Drew Mackey working in, left-handed shot. Save made, Steinman! 8 for 8. 4 for 4 today for Steiny. Who'll climb the boards? It's Ben Duran. Duran's a righty. Off the center dot. Nicholas Kempf, 4 for 4. Duran can end it. Works up the left wing, slow, now gains some speed. His shot tried to beat him 5-hole and shut off by Kempf. Round 6. The junior Jaden Davis, a centerman. Still working against Steinman. Up the right wing comes Davis. Moves through. Davis shot. Save made, Steinman. He's made 6. And 9 for 9 are Falcon goaltenders. Here comes the freshman Ty Higgins. Power play goal yesterday. His first goal of his career. Has an assist today. Picks it up off the dot. Moves it up, left wing, right-handed shot, moving in toward Kempf. Oh, he lost sight of the puck, but he made the save. Caught it with his legs, it looked like, and dropped it down on the crease. Round 7. As Kempf will go over to the bench. Looking like he's going to get some work done. And it looks like maybe icing Danny Nelson. Nelson's going to take the shootout. The junior captain, first line center. 16 points this season, 8 goals, 8 assists. Added a 9th assist today on the Evan Werner goal. Back out to the crease goes Kempf, and we get the green light. 7th round. Off the dot comes Nelson, right wing. He works in towards Steinman. Makes the save again! Jacob Steinman. 7 saves on the shootout. Minville climbs the boards. The freshman scored the first goal of the game today. 4:23 into the first period. A chance to end it. The Falcons in the 7th round. Working in, left-handed shot, he shoots, save made, Kempf. Now we're at the 8th round. Axel Kumlin, senior defenseman, a Swede. He'll take it off the dot. A right-handed shot. Working up the right wing. Shootout, 8th round, shoots, scores! Beats Steinman around the right leg. It's taken 11 shootout tries to beat a Bowling Green goaltender. Now Tyler Hodson will go out. The pressure on him. He needs one to tie it. The junior transfer from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Up the right wing comes Hodson. Moving in toward Kempf. He shoots. Save made. Kempf a deserved celebration. Waves goodbye to the Falcon fans and a shootout winner for Notre Dame at the Slater Family Ice Arena. Following a shootout winner for Bowling Green at the Compton Family Ice Arena. A split weekend for the Falcons and the Irish in front of a sold-out crowd here today. Notre Dame takes the shootout victory.
Tough way to end it, Ben, but just goes to show how goaltending was so important tonight, just this entire weekend, and especially too what the impact it had. But Bowling Green, you got to give credit to them, because while this does feel heartbreaking, it's a tough way to end another sold-out crowd. Take into consideration that since this did end up going past regulation, you won't be penalized too harshly on your record.
A tie game given to Notre Dame on the shootout, although it's still going to go down as a tie. They're 5-18-3 now. The Falcons 14-6-6, an overall record. Slater Family Ice Arena starting to leave among the Falcons, who played a heck of a weekend and great hockey that we saw here through 130 minutes of regulation and I think 11 overall rounds of shootout and 1 make by even team.
Definitely, and you look at this and you look at the Bowling Green team that's had to be so just fluid, so just going back for what they need and really taking advantage of the opportunities and having to just be resilient all night. And beyond that too, you look at what else is going on, and really now you got to look toward the future, and especially too hope that there's an okay Brett Foe after the play in overtime.
Stars of the game coming up in a second. A shootout winner for Notre Dame and a completely split weekend for the Falcons and the Irish. Finished here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. You're listening to Falcon Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back in the Slater Family Ice Arena, the Falcons falling in a shootout to Notre Dame after winning in the shootout yesterday against the Irish. Ben Korak alongside Dan Ridenauer. Today's Stars of the Game brought to you by Bill and Karen Hoffert, longtime BGSU hockey fans and Falcon Club members. Third star of the game gave it to Quinn Emerson, the power play goal to tie the game up. That was at the late goings of the second period. In the final 10 seconds, Emerson and Crampton connected for that goal, along with Higgins on the assist. But Emerson is the only reason we went to overtime and shootout, net extra hockey here at home. Jacob Steinman given the second star of the game. 2 goals allowed, 25 saves. He allowed 1 out of 8 rounds in the shootout. That to Axel Kumlin, and the shootout winner for Notre Dame. And then, of course, the first star of the game, the other goaltender, Nicholas Kempf. 48 saves, 2 goals allowed on 50 shots. He finished with a .960 save percentage. The Falcons with their most shots of any game this season. An impressive mark for them, and Kempf was the only thing keeping Notre Dame to hold a tie today. Those are the 3 stars of the game from Bill and Karen Hoffert Stars of the Game as we wrap up our quick post game here and head off to the press conference. That will be posted on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel, also on BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook, BG_FMSN on Twitter, X, and BG Falcon Media at a lot of different outlets, including BGFalconMedia.com. Coming up for the Falcons, St. Thomas here in the Slater Family Ice Arena next week, February 6th and 7th. That 7:07 start Friday, 6:07 start Saturday here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. A big series against the #1 team in the CCHA. That'll be a big one for the Falcons. And tune in to this radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM, for the home call of both of those games. Dan, a pleasure to broadcast the game with you. I know it was maybe not the outcome you'd like to see as a Bowling Green fan, but a heck of a game that we saw today and this weekend as well.
I mean, definitely too, and what you have to love about this is the way that goaltending was just shown here today. And you know, I love defensive hockey no matter the result. This was very defensive just the entire weekend through and out, and Bowling Green too. While the results may or may not have gone the way you wanted, you got to take positives in everything. And what we saw was a Bowling Green team that got more resilient as they went on through the series. And you may or may not see that throughout, when, like, especially I'm thinking about Robert Morris in particular in the exhibition, where you didn't see Bowling Green have that same resiliency that they've had in this past weekend.
A 2-2 tie today, a shootout win for Notre Dame, a completely split weekend between Bowling Green and Notre Dame. They played even through 2 shootouts, 2 overtimes, and 120 minutes of regulation. We'll drop puck again, Bowling Green and St. Thomas next week on February 6th at 7:07 p.m. But until then, myself, Dan Ridenour, Artie Abrego back in the Cooling Center studios say good night and so long. You're listening to Falcon Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.